Welcome back to another week of Renascence. Last time, you guys had finally finished driving Koran out of Burberry's soul. Huzzah.
We did it.
You guys got out relatively unscathed, and Burberry was able to undergo a ritual with Cardinal Tarian to restore him to a singular body. And there was much rejoicing. There was some conjecture and experimentation done over the course of the rest of that day. But come evening, you guys decided to travel to Aelia so that you could let Aloran's mom know that she was engaged. Ooh. Yeah. And you guys ended up spending the evening just hanging out with Miss Ogalath and Saren, who eventually showed up. And eventually, you guys kind of split up. Burberry and Noelle went back towards the city, while Barnaby went out fishing.
It was great.
And I think we left off with you guys kind of just settling in for the night in various places around the area. We left last session off with, I believe it was Noelle received a sending.
Correct.
From Gideon, letting you guys know that the East Alliance wanted to hold an intelligence briefing and that the Lost Emerald's presence had been requested. First thing next week. Today, or at least the morning that you guys are waking up, will be the 60th of the month of Solaren. So you guys have a day to do what you will before you need to be back in town. But other than that, no real pressing requirements on your time. You guys are kind of free to do what you will. So, are there any questions before we pick up in the morning?
No questions. You said the meeting was when?
It's going to be before noon, in the morning on the 1st of the next month.
And it is the 60th?
It is the 60th.
Oh, shit, okay.
So we have to be back tomorrow.
All right.
Well, I think Aloran's just going to tell the town of her engagement with Adlar.
Okay.
And invite everybody. And everybody that wants to attend, she will ask Burberry to assist in getting measurements.
Readily.
Yeah, I'm sure you're going to have a great time.
There's a very small line of Tritons just kind of filing into this, into one of these homes for Burberry to take measurements. It's an experience, I'm sure.
Lots of wing, lots of the JJs.
I'm just gonna stay out in the middle of the boat. All right.
Just a lot of naked people walking around, which is not terribly abnormal for them. But yeah, you guys would probably make note of this at some point over the course of the morning. Barnaby, you could probably just kind of glimpse the line from the shore while you're fishing. But as far as the town's reception, the village is excited for you, congratulating. Most of them are very welcoming of Adlar. There are a lot of shoulder clapping and handshakes as you kind of make the rounds and the introductions.
How's Saren's dad doing?
He is
he still
quiet. He is not saying much. He does give Adlar a very short handshake when you kind of circle around to him.
I think she would have led with him just to get him out of the way.
Sure, yeah.
So it doesn't leave on the stale note. She's like, all right, let's go talk to him first, because he's
it's just a quick little congratulations, and that's as much as he gets out before he just kind of resumes standing in line. or begins to take a place in line, I should say, since that would be forming after.
Oh, he's actually gonna go? I thought he'd be like the one person.
Saren's like fucking pulling him as part of it. I'm sure.
Got it.
I
feel like Aloran would telepathically say, like, you don't have to come if you don't want to. So, do not feel forced to engage with me further.
I think he looks a little confused in response to being telepathically spoken to. It's not something that happens to him every day. He would kind of glance at you a little sheepishly before kind of breaking eye contact, and the muttered reply would come a little faltering, say, I will.
You will not offend me.
Would be remiss if I were to back out of this after everything you've done in the past months. Hey.
There are you.
Welcome. We're just getting started, so you have not missed much.
Sorry about that.
All good. But yeah, he, Saren's dad, would just very, like I said, sheepishly just kind of say, it's like, you've done quite a bit for those of us that remain since we've come to the mainland. I should be present.
Like, if that is what you wish.
Yeah, he's there's definitely like a weird, awkward energy there, I think.
He wants to be angry, but now I don't think I can.
I mean, roll an insight check.
Yeah. Oh, wait. Lauren's great at those. Let's go.
You are probably picking up an almost like deferential tone and like body language coming off of him.
Sorry, I'm dumb.
He is not intimidated is the wrong word, but he is I don't even know how to describe how do you define deferential?
Okay, here, let me just look at it.
Yeah, let's look it
I
up.
know what this word means.
I can see it. Showing deference, respectful, humble submission.
He's being submissive.
He's being submissive. That's the word. Like avoiding eye contact. He's definitely like not like, engaging or getting all huffy and hoity-toity about it. I think since you, honestly, I think you've kind of noticed he's very much stayed out of the way since you kind of like grabbed the village and like fucking teleported them across the world and built them a new village. He's been very out of the way. He's been kind of tucked away, and you would pick up at this point like there's definitely a meekness to his behavior.
Interesting. I feel like she'll look at him kind of like shocked, like. But then I think she'll say, "If there's any supplies you need before I leave, just let me know." Well, everybody, but you as well. So
he'll nod and say thank you. I think over the course of the morning, a few people would probably come up to you and just ask, "Is like, do you have, would you be able to get a hold of, this or that or whatever, some, rope, some wood, nails, just kind of stuff to kind of start furnishing a little bit more."
Yeah, Lauren would probably, after getting like a whole list, she would probably fly to Aelia and go buy everything requested.
Yeah.
Maybe buy some more food and stuff.
At most, it's probably like 10 gold worth of supplies.
Okay.
Like, it's a decent chunk of stuff. Like, you're gonna be, a big dinosaur carrying it, but it's not expensive. Just a lot.
Yeah. She'll totally leave Adlar there to like just nosy around with everybody, though. She'll be like,
why are you doing this? Yeah. So, Burberry and Noel, in town, having stayed the night at a tavern.
See a dino.
Are you flying as a dinosaur or a giant eagle?
Giant eagle. It's not gonna try to scare people. I just thought it'd be funny. It's just like a little triceratops walking through the town.
Don't see that every
A little
day.
wagon.
I would say that, as one of you is getting ready in the morning, you probably glance at the window, see a giant eagle, like, fucking flying over the walls in the distance.
I think Aloran's back. Either that or it's less uncommon than I thought.
What? Did you see something?
A giant eagle with a very small man on top.
Oh no, he's not with her. She left him there.
Oh, I was about to make a joke like, "Oh man, he has a type."
No, she left him there to go socialize with her village because she just loves him so very much. And is trying not to hurt him.
As you go, please don't leave me.
That's exactly what happens. I feel like he's like, "Where are you going? Don't leave me."
We should
said
probably,
we
we should probably hunt her down because Gideon messaged me last night. We need to be back in Freeport before tomorrow morning. Apparently the Eastern Alliance wants to have a conversation with us.
All right, that should be fun. Are we hunting her in a way that makes the village feel better, or are we hunting her down the normal way?
I'm not sure I understand the question. Oh, I see. We'll go tap her on the shoulder. That's all.
Normal way. Gotcha. That makes more sense. Although the former would have been hilarious.
What was the way you're gonna hunt her down? I was looking down.
With a bow and arrow, apparently.
Oh,
Or something akin to that.
The Barnaby way.
Yeah, the Barnaby
way.
way.
So we'll go dart outside and see if we can figure out where she flew to.
Okay. I mean, you probably would have seen this eagle, like, flying close to the city, like, rooftops in the distance. General idea of the vicinity.
does she like scare a lot of people? Climbing?
You probably do startle a few people.
I feel like
handful.
she'll like jump down. She'll like transform back into a human, do like a tuck and roll, and just start walking.
There's like, it's like fucking dead silent on this street. There's like fucking like 20 people like on either side of you, just standing still, staring as you walk by.
Good day. Good morning, everyone.
Giant eagle.
You can refer to me as GE.
OGE.
For the sake of convenience, I say you guys probably aren't going to be looking too long. It's probably not too difficult to find the Triton in Aelia.
We'll follow the stunned silence.
And the stunned silence imposed by the giant eagle landing nearby. So,
Lauren.
Yes.
Hello.
Hello.
How was your morning?
Actually, surprisingly not terrible. So, just picking up supplies for my people. Just.
Okay.
That's about it.
Good. Just wanted to let you...
Matriarchal way of saying it. Yes, I was picking up supplies for my people.
I mean,
Well, they are.
She's basically like the leader of the village at this point.
Am I the leader of the village?
I don't know. How does that structure work in your society? Is there like a hierarchy or?
Oh no, great question, DM. Is that why he was being so?
there was never like a real formal structure. The village was never like a big settlement, a few hundred people at its height. Generally, people deferred to their elders. The most experienced people in the village tended to be the ones that congregate and make decisions.
Right.
It was never like I'm running for mayor of Tritonville situation. Like it was never that formal.
Okay. Well,
maybe now I'm all powerful. Now they are listening to me.
I mean, you're probably more experienced than a lot of the elders from your village, or most Tritons, to be honest.
They might also be aware that if they disagree with you, you could just wipe them off the face of the planet.
I would never do that to them.
Ah, yes, but you could.
If you so wish to rule by fear.
I do not wish to rule by fear. Unless it's toward, what's the fuckhole's faces? Illegal? Yeah.
Illegal.
No, not
Dragon
illegal.
Tomb?
No,
Dagger?
Green Wardens?
not the wardens, though I am angry at them, actually. Great point. People that the wardens that won't let the wardens do what they're supposed to do.
Enigard.
Enigard! There they are. I knew it started with A.
Yeah, they're kind of bitches.
Those assholes. I'll fuck them up.
We'll see.
Is Enigard around here? Or Enigard around here somewhere?
No, it is several thousand miles that way.
You guys are talking some shit. You like look over like across the street. There's a couple of elves like paused with their like fucking coffee cups in their hands before they very hurriedly like turn back to each other and keep like drinking.
Do you know where they are?
Paper. Goes back to his paper.
I feel like a Lauren will walk up. Do you know where they are? I'd love to meet them in the most friendliest of manners.
We have things to do today. Apparently we've been called.
Oh, we've been called.
Yeah,
We've been summoned?
I was going to mention that. We need to be back in Freeport before tomorrow. Apparently the Eastern Alliance wants to talk to us.
I love feeling important. This is nice.
Yeah, you seem like you're riding high recently, which is good to see.
Yeah. It's nice.
Um,
Oh, I mean, we just killed like a god out of Burberry's brain. Like, I feel great. Oshirog's gonna get fucking ganked.
Man, if only Lashrog lived in my brain.
Maybe we can put. Oh, we could dream
I look
him.
over at the elf. Excuse me.
He's just like wide-eyed, like just staring at you.
Shoot.
Turns back to his friend.
Noel's old rudeness of growing up here is coming back.
Got in my way. Someone pushes past.
Oh, does someone get shoved? A Lauren will shove back.
There's probably no like actual physical contact, but there's definitely some like it's a
Aggressive
city
body
where
language.
people are a little aggressive in trying to get where they're trying to go. So you know, if there's any like slow walking, like people like fucking speed around them in a huff, and
Right.
it's very like New York vibes.
I feel like if anyone storms past a Lauren in a huff, I think she'd like glare them down. If they were like, she'd be like, "Test me, bitch."
You're going to spend all day glaring. Heads up.
Great. I can get my good glare face on.
Work it, girl.
Well said.
Anyways, the important thing you were trying to tell me for the past 5
That's
minutes.
it. That's all. We just need to go be in Freeport tomorrow. That's it. Your day is yours.
Okay, cool. Do you want to congregate at the village? And then I can take us there tonight?
Sure, yeah. I was gonna take a look around Aelia today, just while it's light out, but,
Oh, that's fine.
when
I'll just
I'm
head
done
back.
with
Oh, unless you want me to take you back.
that. I don't know exactly where it is.
Okay, I will wait.
You could either tell me or wait. That's fine either way.
Lauren will just wait. I think she'll just do, like, shopping for Adlar.
Okay.
Buy him some.
Only thing Noelle needs to do over the next few hours is just do a little tour around Aelia again and try and find some fun stuff that she and Jade could do the next time she takes her here.
Sure. I mean, it's a very old school, historic, primarily human built city. The vibe here, as predicted, it's very very French.
By design.
By design.
Where's the Eiffel Tower?
No Eiffel Tower to speak of.
Okay.
There is sort of the old quarter where the kind of like historic palace at the city center is sort of built. Big, heavily walled compound downtown, and you know that the ruling family still holds court there. Like it's still in use. But outside of that structure, there's nothing that's like it's not really like a towering city so much as it is just like a very dense, very heavily populated city.
Sure.
Lots of gardens and parks scattered around.
Yeah, for whatever it's worth, you don't need to make anything up. I can just improvise whatever I need to.
That's fine.
It's a big city.
Big city. Big old historic city. So
that'll be a few hours.
Sure.
Burberry, I don't know what he's doing over the course of that.
Burberry is probably going to be looking at interesting dining establishments, as well as trying to find a tailor.
Some clothes.
So that he can start helping. Lauren, you said you're hanging around, right?
Yes.
Did you want to pick out your bridesmaids' colors? Because I have all these measurements that I have.
I don't know. I think whatever color flatters them the most.
Okay. Perhaps you should have them come pick out their clothes then.
Well, everyone has such different skin tones. Like,
maybe you should have them pick out their clothes then.
We should probably not be bringing the hiding civilization into a different civilization.
Oh, don't worry. I know what colors they like to wear, so I'll pick something.
Gonna grab a Lauren by the collar. Enjoy the city, Noelle. It would seem that we have some very intensive work to do.
Just bring swatches to them or something. I don't know. All right, I'm going.
But this is simple. Just
Lauren,
flowers.
You know what everybody likes, and I have what measurements they have. So if you want to have someone make them clothes, you need to do that in advance.
Well, yes, I figured it'd be better if we did that in Freeport. Here, let's just go to a fabric place, get color swaths, have them choose their color, and then we get to Freeport, we know each color for each person.
All right. Also, I wanted to talk to you about Noelle's bachelorette party.
Oh, Noelle's is getting married! I knew it!
I thought this was common knowledge. Was I incorrect?
Well, she was like, oh, I'm not engaged yet. Oh,
I mean, she's not. And Jade still might say no.
Are you kidding me?
I said might!
Jade was all up on her the last.
I'm rolling. DM's rolling inside on that shit.
It was accurate.
I don't know. Anyway.
DM has a -2 to insight somehow.
I got a 6.
We should take her here, probably, right?
I mean, this would be a good place, and I figured since, we're here, we can do some scouting,
She's scouting out cool places she wants to go, so if anything, I could do Pass Without a Trace, and we could follow her and, figure out what the things she likes as well.
If we spot her while we're on our way, because I do actually have some stuff that I would like to buy while I'm around.
Okay, fair enough.
Also, you can tell me what makes all this look good.
I will. My best friend is a dragonborn.
Oh, thank you. I know you're not referring to me, but I'm taking it anyway.
Well, you are one of my best friends as well. I'm just saying, Garrett. He is also a dragonborn.
Were I capable of whistling?
And I know exactly what he looks good in.
I love that you had to look up his name. My very best friend.
Dude, he was prominent for the first somewhere session 40. Okay.
Oh no, I know. It's just funny in the moment. Yeah. I know Lauren wouldn't have fumbled the name. It was just funny.
Yeah. Because he's a
someone
black dragonborn. So every color suits him.
Oh well, you see, that is where Garrick and I differ. For I am very not black, although I'm sure black and red is a classic color combination.
Black and red. We're gonna give Adlar a run for his money.
Gives a whole new meaning to Smoky Eye, huh?
Oh yes.
Okay, so Lauren and Burberry are gonna go regular shopping, and then possibly stalk Noelle if we happen to see Noelle.
Sure.
I'm a very perceptive person.
I know.
By the way, it probably wouldn't be super hard for me to find no.
Yeah, it's not like I stand out like a sore thumb or anything.
No, not at all.
The heavily armed, crimson-garbed, ghost-white adventurer. Yeah.
Yeah.
She was then.
I mean, truth be told, Lauren sticks out like a sore thumb.
We all do.
And she's just fucking half-naked Triton girl walking around.
We've
like,
all got main character syndrome.
We do.
That's how D&D parties work, motherfuckers.
Don't know what you mean. I don't stand out anymore. Well, not as badly as I used to.
Burberry, you stand out because you're such a catch.
Oh.
And yes, Burberry does 100% do that. Both hands on face, head tilt.
Burberry would blush if he could go any redder.
I think actually, for funsies, it hasn't happened yet, but for whenever the imagination hits, Burberry flushes like a deep purple.
Oh, it's like Barnaby.
Oh shit! I have a drawing of that.
Okay.
You know what? I'll share it, General, but don't take it out of context. Heck, don't take it in context.
Wow, I'm curious.
Listen.
Is it gonna be a Burberry smolder?
No.
A bullberry smolder.
Bulber.
I love me a bullberry smolder.
We love that.
Oh no, where did I put it?
Bullberry sounds delicious.
I know. I don't know what the fuck it is, but it sounds wonderful.
Well, now I'm
I
gonna
want
look
a
it up.
bullberry pie.
That is actually a thing, it turns out. It looks like a big raspberry.
Well, I was
like
right.
that.
I intuited it.
It sounds like a real thing.
It
An
does.
accidental real thing.
They're kind of like a hybrid, like raspberry blackberry. Like they go between red and black.
No, I'm not a fan then. I'm not a fan of blackberry. Well, I'm just saying as it is. There's always like a weird texture in the middle.
I love blackberry.
Now, raspberries, that's another story.
I love raspberries.
Nah, raspberry always go mushy.
I can eat them too fast.
Blackberries stay crisp.
No, they.
Yeah, they do.
No, they. Anyways, please continue. Noelle, what were you gonna say?
All I was gonna say, I'm hesitant to say because I know the moment I do, Kat's gonna get this picture uploaded and we're gonna get sidetracked again.
Oh no, this is actually going to take me a while because it looks like I didn't save it flat, so it's buried in file somewhere. So
Okay, well, all I was gonna say was, I think our next half a day is probably pretty set up at this point.
Lauren would actually have a conversation with Burberry, though.
Okay.
dude.
I think Lauren would at some point, I think probably a little sheepishly talk to Burberry and be like, I feel like you don't know me as well as I'd like you to know me. Did you have any, based on like what I saw in your mind, and I'd like you to know me better.
Would be delighted. Burberry is going to fully pick you up and somehow endeavor to put you on his shoulder.
Okay.
Is Dragonborn Burberry that much taller?
He's apparently 5'8".
Lauren is 5 foot.
I have a head, just like, come here.
Yeah.
Alright, sure.
Look, he is having fun at this point. Like this is I have this whole new perspective. I can look down on people, which I haven't been able to do for 2 years.
Fair.
So boisterous.
I feel like Lauren would leave the floor open to Burberry for any questions he might want to ask.
All right. So, tell me, what in the world were you like before the whole calamity wiping out half your village thing?
Quite the partier, honestly, still, but that was probably few years, not. I toned down the partying for like a period of time there. But had someone. Oh,
You're cutting out. You're getting quiet.
Oh, Phoebe rubbed against it. Sorry. Early Green Wardens, I was a partier. What is his name? I think down in here. I will.
Oh.
Ooh, that is definitely out of context. I got.
Oh my.
I got questions.
There is only one context, Cat. That's it. There's no out of context.
Yeah, there is no out of context. There's only one context.
We all know what the context is.
Yeah. I'm very curious what brought.
It looks like you're gonna get to know Burberry better too.
I am. Apparently.
Okay. But for the record, it started off me just drawing him blushing, and then I went, but
Why is he blushing? And now we have our answer.
That's how it always starts.
Every time.
Jacob, I might be changing his name because I lost it. So I got a new name.
Okay.
And then I met his name was Zuru. He is Azuk's child. Well, we grew up together, but that was his father. You remember Azuk, right? The orc man.
Let's
Montalban?
say yes and move on.
Yes, okay. But we were together for a few years. And
how was he?
Oh, absolutely. Adult. Lovely. You can see her like
Burberry waggles an eyebrow.
But he passed away. So during the calamity. So
he starts to put you down.
yeah.
Because nothing's quite as questionable as someone carrying somebody who looks horribly upset.
Yeah. That's a tough one. But I think she would probably just be like, I thought he wanted to start like a life with me and stuff, and I was always a little hesitant to do that. I was always nervous of surprise, surprise.
I was about to say, you nervous? Haven't seen it.
Nope, never. But there's one thing I do regret. It's probably when I said I wasn't ready for that yet.
I mean, it's alright to not be ready for something. Do you have... I haven't actually seen you pursue any hobbies. Like, I sew, Noelle writes poetry. What do you do whenever you're not drinking or partying or...
Well, when I was living at my village, I was actually in charge of the younger ones, if you would believe that.
I absolutely do not.
Yeah. They loved me, and I kept them busy and played with them while all the elders were working. So I'm actually very good with children. But, at least in that day and age.
You know, I'm kind of sad that you weren't with us whenever we were dealing with the wee fae. I would have loved to see how you handled that.
Yeah, that would have been interesting. One of them sounds absolutely rotten. But I think I would have enjoyed him quite well.
You do have the same manner of cantankery.
Yeah, I think we would have had fun.
Much to their handlers' dismay.
But other than that, Mostly just kind of like went out exploring, collecting seashells that were not occupied by creatures and stuff.
Oh, what was your best seashell?
It was a conch, of course. Can't go wrong with a nice conch shell. But it was magnificent.
It's pronounced conch. Conch.
Conch shell. But I made necklaces. I made like jewelry and stuff. We did seaweed basket weaving. A bunch of stuff like that.
Have you eaten conch?
I
I understand they have funny eyes.
Yes. I have eaten many a sea creature.
And I'll go ahead and fade to black on that one, because, we don't want to have idle chit-chat for the next hour.
That's fair.
Yep.
Burberry will just keep probing questions.
They're usually very general, and if he feels like he hits a thing that will make you upset, he will probably change topic and or shift to something that's a little less heavy.
Yeah.
That's fair.
Do we see Noelle?
Should I roll a perception check with advantage?
Why would you have advantage?
Because she's easy to spot. Because she has main character.
You just
energy.
have advantage. Or not, no, you just roll perception, excuse me.
Fine. 25.
Oh no, 25. I don't know, Noelle, are you trying to hide?
Could have been like a 34. Whatever.
Alright, then you
Browse
see
around
her.
the city, dude.
You fucking see her.
Do I see them?
No, Lauren put up
Maybe.
that without a trace.
They are being quite surreptitious.
Alright. Noelle goes into a bakery.
She likes bakery. What type of baked goods? Sniff the bag, Burberry.
I didn't suddenly turn into a bloodhound.
Well, you love food. Of course you know what's in the bag.
I haven't been around here.
Well, you were at one point, right? Maybe it'll strike something familiar.
Did we go there last? No, we probably didn't go there last night. It was probably closed last night.
They kicked us out.
Well,
Oh, it's the same place?
they gave you the old stuff from the day that didn't
Yeah.
sell. And
Well, I didn't know. What I'm saying is, it's at the same place.
Yeah, sure.
alright. Oh, it was kolaches, that's what they gave you.
Yep.
It's like the leftover kolaches.
Oh, they do have really good kolaches, though, but I don't think that would do well for the purpose. Burberry actually is writing notes.
Lauren's concentrating on keeping them still. There, go. She can't see us. Blind spot. Tuck and roll.
Wait, hold on. Let's see how good I am at actually doing it.
Add a plus 10. Did you get a nat 20?
Of course you did.
Why would you not?
This is when your dice need to come in clutch.
Oh, Lauren didn't.
Your dice know it's important.
I got a 19. So
That still beats my passive perception. I think.
I like the
19 total?
idea. I like the idea
Yeah.
that Noelle
With
actually.
yeah,
Oh,
I rolled a 7 and a Lauren stealth is a plus 2.
damn.
I like the idea that Noelle actually does see Burberry at some point, but it doesn't click because she's so used to seeing the others.
Mmm. Good.
Just a red
possible.
dragonborn.
I don't know. I think
All right.
then she'd probably go to like a clothing store. Then she'd go to like a bathhouse,
Ooh.
and then she'd go
Sexy
to
bathhouse with sweets. Wonderful. Write that down.
a couple different restaurants. Not to sit down and get food, but just to like see what it looks like inside
right.
and ask about their
Lauren,
prices.
you're actually gonna have to go into the bathhouse because you can look through her bag and see what she got.
Ooh, good call.
In other words, doing the very taboo thing of digging through somebody else's stuff while they're not.
Sure. You find scented soaps.
What type of soaps?
What type of soaps are there?
What type of smell of soap?
Oh,
Edible ones, for one.
probably a lot of more floral things, I suppose. Noelle
He likes floral and flower. Ooh, we could do a lavender themed thing. Lavender, Earl Grey tea, lavender cakes. And then we could infuse the bathwater with lavender petals and stuff. Oh, lavender. Let's do lavender.
No, I think I was thinking something more like the opal or a spring.
I like the spring idea.
Well, because we have the white and jade.
Smart. All right, we can continue to. We're just.
I was trying to think of, like, where else? Where did she go?
We'll just.
Eventually, the group meets back up, and we fly back to the village.
To the village. All right.
I feel like Noelle, like, eventually is just like, I wonder where Burbear and Aloran are. We're just like, oh, are you ready to go?
Oh, Jesus.
Hop out of the fucking.
You guys are, like, right behind me.
Yeah.
How long are you standing there?
Just too long.
I feel like I should roll an insight check, but I don't care. So.
But I got 17.
All right, I'll try it.
My deception. Ooh, I got a 10.
23.
Oh, Horn's lying.
We're full of shit.
Right.
Oh, shit.
Yeah, okay. Are we going back to the village then? I'm done with my errands for the day.
I'm ready to go back.
All right. Bird up.
Bird.
Womp, womp, womp. All right, you guys. You guys fly back to the village, shopping in tow, and are able to distribute the supplies Aloran purchased, and reconnect with John and Barnaby. What have they been up to?
Oh, good question.
Fishing.
Say it.
So what have you been up to?
I've been fishing and working on my projects.
All right,
Far away for fish.
Fair enough.
I've been
Fucking Saren.
I've been spending some time there. Right?
Sure.
Fair.
Okay.
Fair.
Fuck.
Okay, jeez.
Anyways, please continue.
No, I'll let Barnaby and John know that we're back. We need to be back in Freeport by tomorrow morning. But otherwise, we're gonna chill out here for the day, I guess. And
Awesome fish.
oh, good. Are you gonna make something?
What kind of stuff is native?
Well, that's what you do with fish.
That's true.
Barnaby, I have a question for you.
What's that?
Do I just look like food since I'm like kind of part fish?
No.
Please continue.
All right.
I just needed to know. If you
Now,
were going
when
to
you
eat a party
transformed
member
into
first,
a fish, that does confuse me.
so if like we were in like terrible survival, like we were all starving, would you vote for me to be the first one eaten? Because I'm most fish-like.
No.
Who would you vote for?
Nobody. I'd find us something to eat by fishing.
Insight check.
What if we were stranded in like Dathadar, like in the middle of the desert?
I rolled on that one.
I'd catch a desert fish.
There's no such thing.
How do you know? You've never been there.
Well, you haven't either.
Well, there you go. We don't know.
I can almost assure you there's no fish in the desert because there's no water in a desert.
That's a great point. That's a great point.
Oh, well,
Fish
no.
can swim in sand.
No. The obvious is there then. What would happen was that we would get so
You ever heard of a mud
dehydrated
skipper?
and starving that Barnaby would naturally find a mirage of a pond and go fishing in the sand.
Hey, there you go.
And then die.
Well, I'll just put it out there. I don't really have any muscles, so I don't think I'd be very great to eat.
I also don't have many muscles, and I'm very thinny. Not good eats.
All right. Is everyone okay to get a little morbid with me for 2 seconds?
I think John would be the best one. He has the most muscle mass.
I kind of agree, actually. But the problem is, I don't think we could kill him.
Oh, no.
What if we all ganged up on him?
No, we could, in theory, if A, John agreed to it, and B, I resurrected him afterwards.
We
That'd be
just keep
so
a piece of him.
Certain pieces of living restoration.
It's so horrible. Infinite food glitch.
You just need diamonds.
Wait, now I think I heard about this. What if you were a druid and turned into a cow, and then like you cut a piece off the cow? You know, because it's bigger on the cow, but then when you transform back, it's only like a cut or something.
I think I'd be missing a leg.
I think all the pieces of her transform back into fish pieces when she transforms.
Yes.
That's a good question then. So if you cut off the cow, does it turn back into Lauren?
You cut the cow off? What does that even mean?
No, I cut a piece off the cow.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. If you had
It
like a
would turn
chunk
back
of
into
cow, it would turn back into a chunk
You
of a
would
Lauren.
want to eat me first, because I would be fish.
When does it stop being a chunk of cow versus a chunk of Lauren?
Probably when she dies.
When my magic stops working?
So it's when she dies, so if we don't kill her, then it still stays a cow.
You guys want to test it?
No.
Not particularly. Boy, you look so bored. Just sit there like...
It's my little fidget guy. It's got this little beholder.
Cute.
It's got little tentacle eyeball thingies.
Nice.
So, at the end of the day...
Skipping ahead here.
Sure. So after you guys debate who would be the tastiest, end of the day.
No, not tastiest. Who we would eat first? Because if we were going for tastiest, we definitely wouldn't go for John just because of the sheer muscle mass. Muscle is sinewy.
I guess that's fair. You'd really have to like stew him. Anyways, end of day rolls around. Sun begins to start setting. You guys are beginning to say your goodbyes. Getting ready to head out. Any final to-dos before we travel back to the free port?
Oh, Lauren would just say goodbye to everybody.
Sure.
Gives hugsies.
Big hugs. Lots of hugs. Another round of congratulations on your engagement. Everyone's very much looking forward to the wedding. There are some questions about travel plans and how they're actually going to join you for the wedding. If you're going to come here, if they're there, or where's it going? It's like okay. So
We'll probably be there for like a couple days.
so we'll get that figured out with you.
Small flavor thing, but given that Noelle's not really had an opportunity to do this, I think she would spend the day getting to know, to the best of her capability, the people of the Lawrence village. Just hanging out, chatting, shaking hands with anyone she hasn't met before, and just making sure she's familiar with them because they're important to Lauren.
Yeah. It's about a dozen people.
Yeah.
Including her mom and Saren and Saren's dad. So like 9 other people there.
Alright, well. As it's evening at this point, I assume. Everybody looks like they're ready.
And Lauren will cast Walk Through Plants.
Okay. Yeah. You just want to
Wait,
walk
how
back to
close
the
does that
tree.
get us to Freeport?
I can go through the tree and the Green Wardens.
Oh, okay.
But we'll literally be in Freeport.
Sweet.
We won't be off to the side or anything.
Yeah. You guys will emerge through one of the large old oak trees growing out of the Green Creek courtyard. There's not a lot going on at this hour. It is later than when you left.
Yes.
Given rotation and time zones and shit. There are not a lot of people out and about. Most of the lights in the windows of the keep are off. And the nightlife of Freeport is kind of up and about, wandering the streets outside the walls of the compound. You can already hear, kind of carousers and parties of revelers, kind of doing their bar crawl. So,
Okay.
you're home.
I guess we head back to our house.
Yeah, look at that. And you'll find Alexi there. He is kind of just in the living room with a book and a cup of something next to him. And as you guys walk in, he says, "Oh, good to see everybody.
You look
how
comfy."
are y'all?" Yes, well, I've done my best. Everything go well with, and he'll see Burger. He's like, good. He'll stand up and walk over.
Hi, my name is Antoine.
It's good to see you, Burberry. He'll just like grab you by the shoulder and like shake your hand.
Yes.
Like, I assume relatively painless. Everyone looks to have everything intact.
Well, we did have a brief scare, but we didn't get that until after everything was said and done. That sounds weird, but true nonetheless.
I lived. It's fine.
Yeah, see, he lived. It's fine.
Lauren's like shaking her head, like,
Well, good. That's good to hear. I assume Gideon then let you know about tomorrow.
Yes, yes, he did.
That would track then. Well, they're expecting us around 10, so
Oh, we can sleep in a little bit.
we have a little time. Yes.
anything new and exciting while we were gone?
Lostrog dead?
Did he die? Did you just keel over from old age and lack
Heart
of
attack?
sleep?
The most anticlimactic ending to this trip ever.
I anticipate that Lostrog is a topic of conversation tomorrow, so I expect we'll all be getting the same update when that happens. The ship's going well, though. We have most of the old subsystems back online. Just need to make sure the thing's waterproof.
Excellent.
So,
that would be important for a ship, wouldn't it?
a little bit if we're going to be out at sea. Not that it's a huge deal. If it can't, it can fly. But,
Just in case the flying stops flying.
yeah, it I think probably would be to our benefit. So we'll be making a jump at some point in the next week to try and run those tests.
Oh, cool. Oh, is Jade here?
Oh yes, she's upstairs.
I will run
Oh!
upstairs.
I think a Lauren would be like, oh, Alexi, by the way, Adler and I are engaged.
Oh, congratulations!
Thank you. Also,
he'll raise his glass, and he'll actually stand up and kind of cross the room over to where he had. Looks like he's like set up a little, like liquor cabinet corner thing in the living room. It's like drinks then. He'll start like unscrewing bottles and pouring little sips.
also that does not affect any of our plans for after killing Lostrog, if you know what I'm saying. Just
Well, considering the plans were made, I figured. I'll pass the glasses out. Well, to your health and a successful future marriage. Cheers.
cheers.
They're all back.
As they're all drinking, Noelle is now pulling Jade down the stairs. Come on, you gotta see Burberry.
She's like got her arms wrapped around and she was like, but you just got the bag.
I
Oh my
know! We
Burberry.
have people to talk to.
Burberry, you look good.
Oh, thank you. I've been trying this new skin treatment.
It suits you.
It's lovely to meet you properly.
Eye to eye.
It is good to see you. How do you congratulate someone on the return of their old body? I don't know that I've ever seen that card in the
No,
shop.
there isn't it's not like a birthday.
Not quite.
More drinks.
Happy rebirthday?
Rebirthday. That's great.
Let's go with that. Thank you very much. My rebirthday was unexpected, but well put together. Like me!
I
The
mean,
whole
it looks
thing-
like you have everything in piece in one piece. Like your tail, one tail, one head, two pairs of two arms, two legs, all where it's supposed to be.
Well, hopefully. We haven't really tested how the innards all work yet. I don't think we have the
Have
technology.
you eaten?
Yes.
Yes.
But I was just making a joke that it might all be scrambled. It's fine.
Oh, okay. I was a little worried there for a second. I am not versed in magic. That is more your specialties. So I honestly would not have known if you did not say.
Oh,
Oh, I
Jade.
mean, that's entirely fair.
Lauren has news.
Oh, Adler and I are engaged.
Oh my god! She is very, very excited for you all. Big hug for Lauren. and honestly, Adlar. And she is just going to take like a glass out of Alexi's hand, like not even paying attention to whether that was his or not. Did we already toast? Did you already?
We can toast again. Toast all around.
Yes, please. Congratulations, both of you. I look forward to the day that we can join you in blissful matrimony.
I feel like when Jade says that, Lauren's gonna go like.
She fucking throws it back.
While she's throwing it back, she's like, Do you see that sippy sip?
I know.
No pressure, though. Excuse me.
Well, we said our highs. Come on, Jade, back upstairs.
Oh, okay.
I'll show you the soap side mod.
It's like, oh, where are we going? You take her back upstairs. Y'all are home. The house seems to be intact. Alexei would let you guys know there's not been much of anything going on around here. And he has been warding the house each night just to make sure, just in case. But nothing has tripped any alarms or given him any cause to worry yet. So
I feel like Lauren's just gonna be like, if something trips with all of us in here, they're screwed.
I don't relish their chances.
No.
But one can never be too careful, even so.
That's fair.
I figured it was better to be safe than sorry.
No, I totally agree. I think it would be kind of fun. In a very morbid way.
Of course. Speaking of which, actually, I am going to... and he's actually going to stand up and go track down his spellbook and start going around and setting alarms and locks on the windows.
Prudent.
Who cleaned my room?
Apologies, I had a few servants about just to tidy up while you were away. I was not specific with their instructions, though, so...
Never clean Barnaby's anything. He likes to be dirty.
I will bear that in mind for the future.
Just doesn't look right. I need to get all this dirt here again. I had it in just the right spots.
Barnaby, if we get bugs, it's all your fault.
Ants.
This is how you get ants.
Well, they're just gonna eat things that you leave there that you shouldn't leave there. So if anything, they're nature's reminders.
That's more for you.
Yeah, I don't have a problem because I don't have ants.
You. Anyways.
I would recommend walking away from this particular argument, Lauren. You're not going to win.
Oh, I am. I'm walking away. Adlar, we have to go celebrate now.
Oh, okay. He was like pouring himself another glass. He just sets it down, just follows you upstairs.
Oh, you can bring that.
Oh, shit, okay. Grabs it.
Grab the bottle. Grab the bottle.
And back across the room, grabs the bottle.
He won't mind. He'll be fine.
Alexi comes back like half an hour later. It's like, where did my... Oh.
He left it unattended. This was bound to happen.
Nature's ants. They've struck it again.
Nature's ants of booze and weed.
The ants.
Ants are from nature.
You left booze unattended.
Lauren will get him a new bottle of booze.
You've given him so much alcohol at this point. It's fine.
I feel like every time she sees him, like whenever she to like visit him in his office, she just like
She was, yeah, I mean, you have repeatedly over the course of the campaign.
yeah.
Half of these bottles are bottles you've given him.
Yeah, she's like, I know.
So,
Lauren gave it, and Lauren take it away.
so I'm sure it's a lovely night for most of the party. What else is everyone doing before we call it for the evening?
Working on
60th?
projects and getting my room nice and dirty again.
Sure.
Oh, I need to go introduce myself to Susanna.
Okay. You gonna make the trek to the Presidium?
Yes, but I'm gonna give her a sending first and warn her?
Okay. What are you saying?
Susanna, hi. I know you don't receive messages from me like this normally. This is Burberry. I was curious if I could come by and play a game with you. I have something kind of big to show you.
Susanna's answer would be a little groggy, I think.
Oh, did I get it past your bedtime?
Yeah, I think
If it's past your bedtime, I'm not doing it.
I think
It'll
it's
be for
pretty late at
tomorrow.
night.
I don't want to wake her up.
That could be a tomorrow thing.
Like, Burberry, you're back. Oh, okay.
No. I mean, I'm taking
All
back. I'm taking back.
All right. Fine. I mean, you guys left Alia in the evening, and you gained like 2 or 3 hours at minimum. So it's definitely later than when you left. You'd probably expect her to be asleep.
Okay, then I'll another day.
Okay, fair enough. Anything else tonight?
I think we're good.
Okay.
I'm gonna go check my taste buds. I'm just gonna go eat a ton of random things.
Okay, yeah.
That'll be a fun time for me.
I imagine things probably don't taste too terribly differently. Yeah, I don't know. I don't think kobolds and dragonborns would have like drastically different like taste buds necessarily.
No,
Some
it's
stuff may
more
be
it's more
stronger than
like
others.
it's more like pretty.
Yeah, kind of getting back to it.
Oh, and I'm gonna for shits and giggles because I can. I'm gonna bother that random demon that I messaged whenever I was 2 people because now I have a different voice.
What do you send to him?
I am going to ask if everything is going according to plan.
Okay. The reply comes somewhat absent-mindedly at first. Almost sounds like he's talking to himself when he answers you. He says, "So far, so good. The aberration seems to be growing at the same pace as it has been. Wait a minute. Who is this? How did you get this number?" Just devolves into indignant rambling in the very short space he has left in the message.
That's okay. I am not going to send another message, because if I was pretending to, or if I was someone else, I wouldn't waste another message on this.
That's fair. Well, with that then, you guys will be able to settle in, enjoy your evenings, however you each wish to, and eventually get yourselves a night's sleep in some familiar surroundings. Come morning.
I have news for people.
Yeah, what's up?
Well, I have learned a few things. For starters, I'm not sure why Father Severin's not answering his mail, so to speak. It's been something that sounds a little demonic whenever I send to Father Severin. But according to it, the aberration is growing well, so I think it has something to do with the, thing we're dealing with. Maybe.
You think it's tied to the cult?
That might make sense. That might make sense. Obviously, we don't want to make any assumptions, but if our life were a plot line, that would make sense.
I guess 2 birds, 1 stone then, if we do take out Lashrug.
Oh. I would say after the boning occurs, Alorn would scry on Sherrock in the evening.
Okay.
After Adlar goes to sleep. I meant to have her do that.
I would say
She's back on scry.
Scrying late that night. You're not able to get even a signal on him. Usually you get a sense that there's some either measure of resistance or a failure of the spell to really take hold and like form a sensor properly. Like you usually get a sense when it fails, if it's failing. This feels like it can't even find him.
Okay, good to know.
Similar experience you've had a few times now that you've tried on him since your last dream conversation.
He is warded up.
Yes, he is.
He's learned from you.
Sick of your shit.
Well, unless anyone has anything else, I think we should go to the meeting, probably.
Okay.
Susanna.
Oh, sure. Yeah. So, sending her a message ahead of time, she'd say, we're just eating breakfast if you want to come over. I think Gideon's going to leave here in a little bit. But you can show everybody.
It's true. It's true. Oh, wait. No, I said it to myself because
Yeah.
Ian's sending.
He's like, oh, yes. So, yeah. You'd be able to head over and
I'm not going to be able to surprise Gideon, though. He already
kind of
knows.
catch the tail end of breakfast, yeah. Susanna would be very surprised to see you walk in. 'Cause you definitely look different. I think Rainer reacts a little bit similar, a little bit more restrained, but they're both also just like, oh shit, it worked! They follow her over to you as she kind of just runs to you. You see Gerald and Aaron at the table as well. They will kind of give you a wave and let you talk with the others before they kind of stand up to walk over and touch base.
Fire!
Yeah, do what?
I'm resistant!
You are fire
Santa
resistant.
sets things on fire! I'm fire resistant!
You did it.
Obviously, 100% out of character. This is just me going, alright!
Yeah, the heat coming off her definitely much more tolerable than it usually is.
Oh, you're getting better at this!
No, not.
It feels like you're getting better at this.
It's like, I haven't practiced really since I last saw you, sorry.
Oh, no, you're 100% fine. What?
Yeah.
Oh. Well, that's a happy accident. He says to himself.
Sure. And Gideon will probably be the last to walk over and will say, you look well, Burberry. Seems that the rejuvenation effort was a success.
Yes, I guess this will be the... Well, I mean, obviously you know what I kind of look like, but hey, now you get to see me without the filter.
Truth be told, it's not too terribly different. Just a little bit less of a haze in front of you now.
Wait, okay, out of question. For funsies, because this will not affect anything, obviously. But for Gideon, so my body is built and not natural. So would Gideon be able to spot the differences between my actual self and this built body?
I mean, you say built, but it is...
I mean, I understand that it's like a new body,
natural.
but like since it wasn't... it's not the one I was born with and somebody else formed it.
I think Gideon probably would not be able to pick that out. Like, if you asked, he'd be like, that doesn't show any sign that that's the case. That's not something that I am able to detect presently. Alterations of form or illusions are dispelled, but your particular origin is not.
Oh, well, I figured that for the front because everything felt right, but you know how it is on the back, you know.
Of course. Well, I take it the others are in town then?
Yes, we were
Will be-
actually called by the Eastern Alliance over something, so we'll probably be doing that this morning.
Good. I'm glad Noel passed that along. Suppose I will see you all there then.
Yes, thank you very much for relaying that, by the way. I know that it's not a... it's not something that you necessarily expected to be doing.
Considering how closely we've worked so far, they seemed to think it best that I deliver the message in case there was any more to say. But I don't know any more about what this is about than you do, so there really wasn't much more to say than that.
Really fair.
Oh.
And then I will probably spend the rest of breakfast hanging out with the Brazilian folks, just to...
Sure. Yeah. And they're very excited for you. It's a good thing to see. So, eventually...
Heck, maybe I'll just go there with Gideon.
Yeah, probably. You guys would eventually all make your way back to Fort Franco. You would be let in the front gate, accompanied by Lexi, probably joined by Gideon and Burberry along the walk. They'd catch up to you. And you would be escorted by a small honor guard to that central compound where you had your old meet and greet with all the Eastern Alliance diplomats and high-ranking personnel. The conference room is significantly emptier for this meeting. You would see inside there are only about 4 other people. You recognize the bronze dragonborn woman, the admiral of the Navy, Drumethrill Yasa.
You want to mute for a sec, Johnny? Sorry, you're picking up plot.
Oh, sorry. You would also recognize the wood elf and human man accompanying her, both of them East Alliance Navy intelligence officers. One, Derek Lugo, whom you met on Daggermore. The other was an elf named Zinfarin, who was present for the previous briefings. He was kind of the primary officer on monitoring Boshrog and all that. And on top of that, there is a high elf woman present as well, the Prime Minister of the East Alliance, Krimbad Sozida. So these 4 individuals are here. The rest of the table is empty. And you 7, the 5 of you and Gideon and
Alexi.
Oh, and I guess Adlar, 8.
Okay.
Adlar would be there.
Even that forgets about Adlar sometimes.
I occasionally forget. He's technically in the party. The 8 of you would be kind of led into this room, and Admiral Filiasa would just kind of beckon to you. He's like, all right, sit, bunch up. We've got a lot to cover. And just kind of gesture to some of the seats towards the front of the table.
Sure thing.
She'll look to Zinfarin, the elf, and ask, are we clear yet? He's like, I'm almost finished. And you can see that he's actually been kind of quietly just gesturing and incanting as he casts a number of spells, is casting a number of spells over the course of this. Alexi and Gideon will say their hellos, shake hands, and the Admiral and the Prime Minister will each come to each of you and shake hands and welcome you back to Freeport. Eventually, you'll see Zinfarin stop casting. He will give the Admiral a nod and take his seat. And the Admiral will turn to you all, standing in front of this big blank chalkboard. She'll say, so, good to see everyone. Hope you've been well. Burberry, you're looking particularly hale today.
Thank
Nice
you.
to see you without a mask on.
Yes, it was getting really stuffy.
I can only imagine. So, we have some news on the Leviathan cult front. Figured you all would be interested to hear where we're at.
Absolutely.
Good. Well, as I'm sure you all know, the East Alliance has been active since your raid on the Chaser cell last month. We took that information that you acquired and have been conducting raids on various other installations of theirs across the Emerald Coast, and to the north as well, as it turns out. Additionally, Lauren and Adlar, questioningly, not sure she got the name right, not good. Lauren and Adlar also assisted us in disabling Fort Rocher, which allowed the Navy to establish a foothold on Daggermore, which was a fairly substantial victory for us. We were able to secure one of the cult's largest power bases. Unfortunately, we have not been able to locate Losharog or Bloodbeard or any other high-ranking officials. We've captured a few folk about the same level as that flame fellow sitting in Yamadazath. But it seems as though they had some warning that there would be attacks, as some of the installations we hit through those teleportation circles had been emptied by the time we reached them. Unavoidable, but unfortunate nonetheless.
He has done a very good job of hiding himself.
He has been obnoxiously careful. She is going to spin the blackboard, and on the back of it, there is a big map of the Eastern Alliance. You can see the Emerald Coast, you can see Freeport marked, all the islands around it. And you can also see some of the islands to the north in the Nocassian Sea as well have been demarked. And sort of the southern coastline of Simor Minor up in that direction. And she'll kind of highlight a handful of these areas that, you know, the Eastern Alliance has been able to hit and point them out and kind of explain like what they found and what they were able to recover. From the sound of it, they have been able to secure the rescue of about 200 mages, low-level craftsmen, mage rights, and artificers who had been abducted from across the Emerald Sea and sort of forced into servitude to the cult. Based off of their reports and what they were able to kind of share after their rescue, it seems as though these installations had primarily been armories. Loshrog had been sort of pressing people into forging enchanted weapons, armor, and various other items, presumably which he distributed to his cells across the sea. Some of those items were recovered during these raids. Lots of projects in work, as well as a few stored shipments that had not been sent out quite yet. But unfortunately, it seems as though a lot of what was produced was shipped quickly and was not recovered over the course of these raids. On top of this, the Admiral would point out to you that there have been a number of attacks from the cult over the course of the past couple of months. Freeport has seen a small number of independently conducted cult attacks on military installations, merchant vessels. Outside of one attack in the harbor, not too terribly long ago, a visiting merchant's vessel was completely destroyed in a massive firebombing, for which the culprit has still not been located.
Terrifying.
Most of these attacks, the culprits have been found and either slain or captured. They've encountered similar sort of terroristic attacks in other settlements around the city. Beddingwich is still a very embattled city. Illical has seen a couple of attacks. The most notable, however, have been on the island of Landor. The cities of Holborn, Moritz, Bathla, Fido, and Cambing have all seen very, very, very heavy cult activity and there has been rampant fighting in all of those settlements. Holborn, in particular, she would point out, seems to actually be in the midst of a three-way battle between the East Alliance, the Leviathan cults, and some, as of yet, unidentified militant faction that has made itself known in the city. But they don't have much more information on it than that at this point.
I think Noelle absentmindedly kind of glanced over at Gideon because she remembers that he wanted us to go there, fucking 3 years ago.
Gideon's just kind of listening and nodding. As she mentions Holborn, he kind of grimaces. He'll kind of glance at you, but he won't make much more than that.
Okay.
More pressing than any of this, the Admiral would kind of reach the end of this briefing. We have been scrambling to try and determine Lasharog's whereabouts. For much of the last 2 months, he has been at large, and his position has been completely unknown. We have long suspected that he has been holed up on their remaining capital ship, Bloodbeard's Belasco's Bane. But until this past week, we were not terribly confident as to where that ship might be. However, over the past few weeks, Alliance intelligence has noted a significant shift in naval traffic patterns across the Emerald Sea and in the neighboring waters to the north. We have seen a lot of ships, an uncanny number of ships, sailing northeast, heading for the northern Nocassian between Simor Minor and Simor Major. And when we had field agents begin investigating that area, we found a somewhat sizable cloud bank, miles across, not too dissimilar from the one we witnessed the day of the arraignments. After watching that storm linger in place for the next week, we grew fairly confident that that was the location of Belasco's Bane. We believe that it's been outfitted with the same sort of armaments that his previous capital ship had equipped in order to conjure this supernatural weather pattern. We've had intelligence officers make 2 attempts to try and reach the ship and execute a similar maneuver to the one that you pulled on the Cetus back on the day of the arraignments. Unfortunately, it seems as though he has learned from your previous attack, and we have not heard contact from either of these attack parties since they made their move. We have not made any further attempts in this manner out of concern for the safety of our remaining intelligence officers, as well as simple lack of information. We have attempted to scry this ship, but it seems to be as heavily warded as one can ward a thing. There is not getting any eyes on it unless you are out there in the water with it.
If it, I can speak, just a small thing.
Sure.
For whatever it's worth, our encounter with the previous ship, I feel we got tremendously lucky that we were able to get in where we did, avoid detection, and we were fortunate enough that they kept their black powder stores on the bottom floor. I think that it does not surprise me that Lasharog has since learned from that mistake, and to be perfectly honest with you, I'm not sure we would have been able to do much of anything had we not found that loophole. Those ships are terrifyingly well warded and very dangerous, explicitly designed to be, well, to avoid any type of incursion.
We're thinking after the second group dropped off our contact, so...
I'm sorry to hear that.
It is unfortunate, but it is what it is. We were obliged to try. That said, we have witnessed a significant number of ships sailing into that storm. Ships we did not previously believe to be affiliated with any such factions, let alone a cult of this magnitude. We've done our best to curtail traffic as much as possible, but it looks as though Lashrog has been amassing his forces. And in the past week, the storm did begin moving southeast.
Where is it heading?
If it keeps to its current trajectory, we expect it will be along the eastern edge of the Sea of Halan within a couple of weeks.
Heading towards the big hole.
That is our current belief. Yes. We are unsure what exactly it is that he's planning, although we do have some theories.
To raise the Leviathan in its lair.
Pardon?
To raise the Leviathan in its lair.
That is a distinct possibility, and we actually have someone here to explain a little bit more about our thinking on that in a moment. But there is also the possibility that this is a very elaborate ruse to draw the Navy out. There's a non-zero possibility that Lashrog is simply baiting us.
In the act of heading southeast?
In the act of looking as though he is planning something, it warrants a response. If our response is overwhelming, we leave ourselves vulnerable back here to some potential attack from another angle that we may not be anticipating, such as the giant spined monstrosities that's attacked back on the arraignment.
Right.
So there's some concern there, but there's also the concern of leaving him completely unchecked. Obviously, if he is planning something, it stands to reason that we don't want it to work. We don't want to see it come to fruition. We are obliged to respond to some capacity.
I mean, I could technically get us out there pretty easily. In the forest of seaweed. I could get us there, at least to my old village. You can see what they're doing.
You're saying to the crater?
Yes. That is where I used to live.
How would you get us out there quickly?
Walk through plants. Potentially.
The DM
I don't
looks incredulous.
Last time I asked Jacob this question, he said if it was like a thick bed of seaweed, I could potentially do that. So that's why I'm pitching it. So.
I see.
Large or larger inanimate plant within range and another plant at any distance on the same plane of existence.
Theoretically.
Got a giant coral head or something. Those suckers can get big.
That is an option, although I would be leery of sending you out unsupported. You are probably some of our strongest assets. But we've also sent some strong assets out already, alone, and they have not come back. I would not want the same fate to befall you.
I am incredibly sneaky.
Sometimes.
Most of the time.
Most of the time.
If I might offer, I guess, a more restrained approach, I kind of am of the opinion that we're going to need support whatever move we make. I don't think this can be a solo Lost Emeralds mission.
Well, no, I don't think it's so either. I think it's more just see if what they're doing out there is something we need to be aware of, and if we need to stop them.
It would certainly be nice to have specifics about what exactly they're planning. But it also... I hesitate to say this, but it sort of doesn't matter. Whatever it is, we gotta stop it. They're not planning world peace.
Well, I'm inclined to agree with both of you. Frankly, it would be good to know, but at the same time, there is a level at which it doesn't matter. We are obliged to respond. To that end, the East Alliance Navy is mustering a fleet. We expect, based off of the numbers that we observed entering the storm, that we will be able to send enough ships to adequately respond without leaving the rest of the Alliance completely exposed. Obviously, we would like you to join us in this, although it is your call in the end. You are not enlisted, you are not under our direct commands, but know that the Alliance will be eternally indebted to you if you were to assist us in bringing this man and his cults to a swift and immediate end.
Trust me, we're in this till the end. We've all seen enough death and destruction from him. We can't let him get away with any of this.
Good. That's good to hear. Now, I do have someone here who, while not military, is relatively well-versed in some of the Leviathan cult's doctrine, or at least their history, as best as I'm able to figure. She'll turn to the elven diviner and she'll ask, could you bring Sassier in here? And you'll see him step out, and she'll say, we asked some of the history buffs up at the university to take a look into some of these red lights we've been seeing around the countryside since the red solstice hits, and what they've been able to share has been enlightening, if a little concerning. Professor, and you'll see coming back into the room, there is this sort of older, silvery blue dragonborn man, very large spectacles on his face as he steps forward. And he will kind of give everyone a little wave as he's kind of clutching a ream of papers. He's got like this really heavy knitted cardigan on.
He's adorable.
And the Admiral will say, Professor Sassier here is an expert in Third Era archaeology. I will leave it to him to explain what exactly it is that this cult might be after. Professor, if you would, please. And he'll kind of adjust his glasses. And he'll say, oh, it's a pleasure to meet all of you. I've delivered a report to Mr. Gideon over here already. I imagine he shared a bit about what I was able to put together for you all.
Nope.
Well, he'll start like passing out papers. Like packets. He's like,
Burberry looks like super excited.
Oh boy, packets.
well,
Listen, you learned the most interesting things from packets.
My name is Professor Plistizor Sassier. I am the head of Third Era Archaeology at Bellaguate University. My department has been studying the invader civilization for years now. I mean, I've been studying this since I was an undergrad. Really, genuinely fascinating archaeological era.
It's very nice to meet you.
A pleasure. Please. He'll walk over to shake your hand. He's like, as it turns out, it looks as though this invader culture that I've dedicated my life to, is in some way connected to this Leviathan cult. Their ruins are obviously the source of this red light that you kind of see up in the hills around the country now. We have been studying these people for a very long time. They obviously conquered the plane thousands of years before we settled here, and died out thousands of years after they conquered, but thousands of years before we got here still. So, long gone, ancient history type thing. But our understanding of their remains is that they were deeply worshipful of this being. And he'll kind of turn to the chalkboard and start kind of looking around for Charles to try to find a spot to start writing, and he'll see the admiral
flip it over.
flip it back for him. Oh, thank you, man. The best is we've been able to transcribe the name. He writes a big MGNS. No vowels, interestingly, in their language, but they transcribe the name of this being roughly MGNS here, right? And we call it manganese. Now manganese is a being to which sacrifices are made, living sacrifice, blood sacrifice, and power is gifted in exchange. And this was the relationship they had with this being. And then it's like, Professor, could you please fast forward? I was like, I'm sorry. Point being, we believe that the invader peoples did have a temple complex somewhere out to sea, out in the Sea of Halan. We believe it was a significant ritual site to them. There's indirect references to this place in numerous writings that we found in various ruins, and we believe that this Leviathan cult, we believe that they are in fact worshiping this manganese figure, right? And that they are looking to secure this temple, whatever it might be. Our theory, as of right now, is that it is either a site of sort of central offering to this being, or, and this is our more troubling theory, it's out with it, Professor. We believe it's possible they may have been attempting to build a portal to summon this thing.
Probably the portal.
Well, here's hoping that's not the case. He kind of chuckles. He says, but there is certainly enough evidence to say that their civilization was wiped out in a sudden cataclysm. Could very well be related to a portal accident of some kind. Things of that scale. If they go wrong, they go very wrong in a big way. So that is theory, unfortunately, such as it stands.
I can't say that any of us are particularly surprised. I think we'd all assumed he was trying to open a portal, but that was just based on a hunch, so we appreciate you
Confirming the hunch.
Yes, well, I have a number of annotations in the papers there for it. It's like, Professor, thank you. Are there any questions?
Let me leave.
You'll see Lugo will kind of hold up a hand and just say, please don't leave the room with those.
Right.
Sassy, why don't you come with me? He'll just kind of take the professor by the shoulder and he'll say, it was very nice to meet everyone.
Thank you very much.
Thank
pleasure,
you.
Emeralds. And Lugo will kind of show him to the door. It's like, we'll come for you when the briefing's finished. And he'll shut the door again. He'll say,
it's just a closet.
It's a very small office. Lugo will come back and he'll say, the professor's a little out there, but I would be lying if I didn't say that the research isn't a little a little convincing.
I mean, we honestly thought the portal was happening either way, so he just kind of confirms what we all
I guess it's been good that we've been assuming the worst case scenario.
Yeah.
I take it you asked him this already, but any idea where that temple is?
Well, it's not visible from the surface, so we assume it's on the ocean floor at this point.
Oh.
But
has Lauren ever heard of anything like this?
give me a history check.
Because she did live down there in that area. And her dad did a bunch of expeditions and stuff. Oh, that's
She's
actually...
like 1.
Oh. I thought he
One
did more.
missing on.
I thought he did more than one.
It was just the one.
It was an 18.
18.
Yeah, not bad, actually. For Lauren.
I will say, I think listening back to hearing this, this probably triggers some fairly old memories that you really haven't thought back to recently. But you do actually recall your father speaking with your mother one night. It was late. I think they assumed you were asleep. And you do recall him sort of trying to persuade your mom, basically, to give her blessing to that first expedition. And you remember hearing him say something about a possible structure down there. You remember hearing him say that he was worried. There was talk, there was evidence that there might be something very, very concerning sunken at the bottom of the deep. And he just wanted to be sure that that wasn't the case. Or if it was, he wanted to know sooner than later, for both of your sakes.
I think Lauren would probably pipe up and tell everybody that.
I know this is a bit far back, but did you perhaps have any idea where this expedition your father was supposed to go on was supposed to be? Oh, with your mother?
I would not like to... I would rather not bring this up with my mother. She has been through enough as it is, but the Green Wardens would know.
Wait,
Exactly.
how old would Lauren have been in this? When was this expedition?
When
She would
was
have been like a
8.
teenager.
No, I think she was like
Was
8.
she younger?
Yeah.
Okay. So he went missing when we were young.
Is this the one expedition he went on?
Yeah.
Yep.
Oh, okay. Was this through the Green Wardens?
Yes.
Would they have had documentation about this?
They should.
Will they give it to you? Because if I remember correctly, they're a little mad at you at the moment.
If I talk to the right person.
I mean, across the table from you, Alexi is also like nodding as you're saying all of this in agreement. And I think he would be able to say, is like, I do recall Volos expressing a similar concern to me prior to that expedition.
Yeah, I wasn't supposed to hear any of that, but...
Well, you were what, 8?
Well, yes, I was...
Don't rub it in!
I was an eavesdropper, okay?
I imagine he didn't want to concern his child with something of that magnitude, but... Well, here we are. Truth be told, as I remember, Volos was fairly tight-lipped about exactly what his concerns were, but I do remember he mentioned speaking with some folks at the university about this potentiality. Would it be possible to speak with Sassier after all of this? He'll look to the Admiral and sort of like, I don't... That's fine. Just keep sensitive information to the keep if you could. And Alexi will nod.
Sorry, he's not going anywhere.
At any rate, I think the Admiral will kind of kind of pick up steam again here, and she will say, that is the actual danger, that Lasharok might be attempting to reach some facility of some kind, some ruin, a portal, a temple, whatever, something important to this Leviathan, this Meganese, fucking whatever. This thing. If he is actually trying to reach it, obviously we do not want him to do so.
Fair.
We are not exactly equipped to dive to that depth, however, not in mass. And at this point, you will see her kind of turn to Gideon, which raises the question about... Oh, she hiccuping. Which is what brings me to the question of your ship that you have been working so studiously on. Is it seaworthy yet? And have you been able to test if it is submersible yet? To which Gideon would kind of nod and say, we are quite nearly ready to begin testing. If the hull is intact, the ship should be fully submersible. But it is still going to be the only one in the fleet that would be able to do so. You'll see the Admiral just kind of shake her head. It's like, it's better than nothing. As soon as you know for sure, one way or the other, I need a timetable from you. Gideon will just nod. And she'll look back to all of you, and she'll say, how soon did a lot of you think you can be ready to be on the move?
Tomorrow.
That's about right.
Today. Right now.
Well, if we're leaving right now, I want to pack snacks.
Well, yes.
I
You
have
just-
some things I'd like to take care of beforehand.
Oh,
See
yeah, I guess
project
I
on, I'll finish first.
I guess I should thing with that.
As eager as we are to kill him, we can't go diving into this without being completely ready.
I certainly would advise it, and from what I hear, you lot are able to move fairly quickly when the need calls for it. We are hoping to have the fleet moving at some point in the next week here. We do not expect it to be fully assembled until all ships are on the far side of this island of Tulane, out east, excuse me, which will take a few weeks for all of them to reach. After that, there is still a pretty considerable distance out to the edge of the Sea of Halan, or to the Halan Deep. If you do have business to conduct before we throw down, now's the time.
So you said we have a few weeks?
We have a week, maybe.
A week before the ships leave. But given
Oh, I
your
could catch up to this fleet's easy.
given your propensities, as I hear multiple of you are capable of teleportation, I don't see that as necessarily an obstacle.
Right. So we might have a few extra days or weeks.
What's today's date?
Today is the 1st of the month, which is...
Could you give me like a rough timetable?
Death. 1st of Death.
What number month is that?
3.
Oh, my wand is ready.
I feel like Barbara just says that in the middle of the...
Oh yeah, my wand is ready. As soon as I pick that up.
I was about to say, I recall you having a number of commissions open with our engineering corps. If you have any further equipment to requisition, if you have any further preparations to make, you have time. As I said, the fleet will not be fully assembled for at least 3, if not 4 weeks, depending on weather. And after that, it's still a couple of weeks before they'll be out along the edge of the deep, in range of Lasharog.
I don't have the map in front of me, but if the need arose, where are they meeting at? You said Toure?
Tulane would be the island.
Tulane? Is that on the island map?
I believe it should be. It should be like on the far edge of the map to the east.
Let me scroll back up. The island map off to the east. Oh,
Tulane.
Way out there. It's just barely on the map.
Tulane.
Tulane. Does Noelle have a teleportation sigil to Tulane? Because that would make things really simple.
They do not have one there. Tulane is not actually in the East Alliance, so they do not have any installations on that island.
Okay.
But they would be able to tell you. Worst case scenario, we can have Alexi teleport back to pick you up if you are unable to reach the fleet yourselves.
Or sometime in the next how many weeks, Alexi could teleport me and over there just so I can have it in my brain.
I could also find a big tree over there.
Yeah, Alexi could take us both, actually.
Yeah. And then
Alexi would not. It's like, that's fairly doable. I've been to Tulane once or twice.
We could just meet you at Tulane when everything's assembled.
what would be like flying speed out there if I was a big bird? How long would that take me?
You'd be faster than the ships, but it would still take you weeks.
Probably.
Okay. So teleportation.
I mean, let me see how long that would take, because I think I have the Eagle's fly speed here. 10 miles at a fast pace per day, or per hour. So 80 miles a day, which is pretty good. That's probably about a week, looking at the map, to fly out there.
Good to know, at the very least. Probably lean on teleporting, but that's good backup plan.
Yeah, probably.
Okay, I have a dumb question. So I have this devotee sensor, right?
Yep.
For fighting underwater, does it work?
You should test it.
Okay, fine, I'll go test it. I've got time, apparently.
Yeah. What is it? It says...
It says you can
flail to emit a thin cloud of incense.
This, I'm like, wait, this is underwater.
Interesting.
It's magical incense.
Oh,
Does the water just get really cloudy in sections?
if the meeting's
Like a
wrapping up, Lauren would telepathically send to Noelle and be like, Hugo, yay or nay for invitation?
Lugo.
Lugo.
I think his name is Lugo.
Oh, sorry.
How hot is he?
Lugo was... I think he wasn't bad. He was on the positive side of the hunky scale. I think he was like a 13 or 14 or something.
Yeah, I remember him being positive.
He was higher than 10. I remember
He's
that.
okay. He's not really my type, but you know, not everybody has to be hooking up.
The thing about an orgy, everybody's hooking up.
Oh.
You weren't invited. Because they knew you'd say no.
Good.
I say go for it if you want.
Sweet.
Well,
I think she'd ask Adler the same question. What about him for the invitation?
I mean, if you want to.
Well, do you want? What do you
we're being
think?
tremendously unhelpful.
I mean, I think you get the sense his investment in Lugo is probably about the same as Noelle's. It's kind of like,
He's
it's alright.
okay.
Y'all are boring.
It's like, we have hotter friends.
Yes,
That's
and
true. I'm not part of this call, but that's true.
Wait, actually, regarding that, I had a question. I'm still don't want to be involved, but where are you doing this? Do
The
I need to
house.
be out of the house?
Yes.
I need to be out of the house.
I mean, we did get a house. Why not?
We'll be in the cellar of the house.
Need to christen it.
Well,
I'm pretty sure Barnaby is just gonna be like, I ain't being anywhere near that whole day.
If you do anything to my room, there's going to be some consequences.
There's no plans to go towards your room.
Good.
Anyway,
Sorry.
no, it's okay.
This is the psychic conversation you guys are having during the middle of this briefing.
No, I think this is towards the end of the briefing. when all
Gideon
the
and
questions...
Alexei and the Admiral are like talking kind of like logistics,
It's
and you guys are just like,
muffled in the background.
should we invite Lugo to the orgy?
Lugo keeps noticing we're all staring at him.
Yeah, we're all just like,
He just keeps like squinting at you like, what? Like, making a face.
well, now I feel like we have to invite him.
He doesn't know what we're talking
And
about.
I'm too long, I feel bad.
I feel bad now. Okay, I'll invite him.
I will thank the Admiral and everyone. Are we wrapping up the meeting here?
It sounds like they're more discussing the ship at the moment, but it seems like they've said what they need to say.
Okay.
The concern is, it looks like La Shirog's storm and fleet are heading for the deep, and the Navy is obliged to respond. Probably won't be able to reach him for almost a month at the very longest. So
How long will it take La Shirog to reach the...
they're anticipating being able to probably meet him there as he's arriving.
Oh, okay, cool.
He had apparently been very far north.
Gotcha.
Looking good. But there is not like a significant naval presence in that area, so their plan is to kind of like amass a fleet and then head them off.
Okay. Well, thank you very much for the update. This is tremendously useful, and it gives us a good timetable to plan around.
Oh, I hope that whatever it is that you need to take care of, you are able to do so quickly and without issue. I would hate to see you short-handed once we get down to the final throwdown with this guy.
We'll do everything in our power to be ready.
Yeah. As much as I'd love to see him hang, I'm sure we all would. You obviously have full leave to use as much overwhelming force as you have to bring him and any other of his officers to heel on the spot. We do not care about capture.
Perfect, because my plan is to rip off his fucking head. The
Bring it
very...
back for me.
Everything.
I was going to put it in a mold. Crystal diamond or something.
That's a little grim.
Cool.
Macabre, maybe, is the word I'm looking for.
You know, we could all use a little macabre in our life, I think.
Just don't put it up in a living room.
not Crystal. That's expensive.
That's too much money for him. Right.
Resin.
Yeah, we'll do
Gideon would just kind of chime in, like, you could just boil and bleach the skull.
Could put his head in a jar.
Ooh, that's
We've
great.
done that
I'll ask you for assistant with the preservation of his head. You would know, right?
Good luck figuring that out. I've got some things I need to go do today.
Yeah, as you guys are kind of wrapping this up, I think you'll see the Prime Minister, who has been silent this whole time, will stand up and just kind of like round the table to your party. And she will just very solemnly say to all of you, I speak for the entirety of the Eastern Alliance when I say that we wish you the most luck we possibly can and pray that you are successful in this. We're counting on you. A lot of people are counting on you.
Thank you. We'll try not to let you down.
I have some messages to get out. She'll take her leave. You'll see some attendants that have been waiting outside the room kind of join her as she leaves and head down the stairs. At that point, I think Alexei might kind of peel off from Gideon and the Admiral and approach you all and say, Well, I think we're probably going to be trying a submersion test here in the next day or two. Any takers? Anyone curious?
I'll right in.
I mean, I can join because I won't drown. But I can also
Yeah.
make sure none of you drown if it goes.
Either will I can help out.
I was gonna say I do drown technically, but I guess if
Oh,
Lauren's there.
actually, you don't have to. You still have that necklace, right?
Oh right, I could use that. Yes.
I'll have water breathing prepared as a contingency. Hopefully that we won't need it, but just
Oh, I
in
will
case.
too. We can just make sure everyone survives.
That is the goal. Worst case scenario, the ship leaks and we
We
pop
all-
back into dry dock. So here's hoping.
All right.
As Lugo just starts walking away, Lauren will flag him down.
You'll see Lugo like kind of heading back to that little office and grabbing the professor and starting to walk him to the door. The professor's like, "It was very good to see everyone." Alexi's gonna like head him off and be like, Professor, I wanted to actually ask you." You flag Lugo down as the professor leaves with Alexi. Lauren,
Oh, I have
What-
something for you.
what was all of this? The kind of like gestures of the party. It's like it's a lot of weird eyebrow stuff happening during the meeting.
Oh, sorry. I can talk to them telekinetically, so I was conversing. Party.
Is that what you were doing?
And then she'll.
You know, you cock your eyebrow when you do that. Like,
Good to know. And she'll I think she'll like say that to him in his head.
You have a tell.
Good to know.
he's like, yeah, you're doing it again. See?
I can't see, but I'll take it. Anyways, we just wanted to give you this invitation.
Oh, I'll take the paper and invitation to. Oh, you got a house recently. I heard actually. Is this for the housewarming?
Yeah,
Start opening it and unfold it.
Of
Going to
sorts.
christen it.
Eyes very wide, folds it back up. Says, "Oh, tuck that away in a pocket."
I just love that she hands them out in like the most like awful times.
Right after our end of the world briefing.
Yeah. If
That is very
Wait, is this going to be
flattering.
pre or post end of the world?
Post.
post.
Okay, so it's a reward. Gotcha.
Yes.
I assume this is contingent on a success then.
Yes. Can't have all this if we all die. So
Gotta work for it. Yeah.
exactly.
Well, quite the shindig you've got planned. These are very. Did you get a calligraphist for this?
No, Noelle has very good hand.
He like looks over to Noel.
I'm gone, dude. He looks over where Noelle was standing a few minutes ago.
Yeah, he's like looking around for her. It's like, she's very good. I will. He is like really puzzling over this. How many people are coming?
Everybody keeps asking that.
I don't actually know anymore.
Noelle said 10
Character.
last time. I think it's around 10.
Out
Uh-huh.
of character, hopefully everybody comes.
Oh, I think I know
A
it's
rare
true.
David
Okay,
character
Lauren will
break.
say that. She's like, well, hopefully everybody will come.
Hmm. That I mean, I
Jesus
suppose that would be
That would be the goal at the end.
that would be the goal. Yeah. I will hold on to this.
You
Uh,
by no means have to.
no, I'm sure it'll be a good time. Thank you. He'll just kind of blush, smile, tuck the invitation away, and he'll probably turn back to the admiral, who's talking to the other intelligence officer, and he'll say, "I should probably see what that's about." But I suppose I'll be seeing you.
good day, sir. And she'll do like a little salute. She doesn't know exactly what she's supposed to be doing, but she'll salute him.
Sure. Gideon will probably group up with the last of you who are still in the room and say, well, suppose that's everything. Shall we?
Where are we going?
You're going to the sub.
Heading out. I don't know where Alexi and Sassier got to, but I can just speak with Aaron about possible crew for this vessel once we have this thing seaworthy. The Admiral wants to get a contingent of East Alliance Navy on the ship, which is probably wise, but I have some concerns. At any rate, did I hear that you'd be joining us for the test tomorrow?
Yes.
Me?
Are you still there?
Oh, you're talking to me. Sorry, you never really talk to me, so I was just making.
We are doing our best to mend our bridges while we can.
Yes, that's why you got an invitation, which I really do hope you join. Very, very curious.
It is under consideration.
Insight check.
So technical. The committee is taking under advisement.
26.
He seems legit unsure.
Oh, come on.
He seems legitimately unsure, and he is hard deflecting.
Fine, we don't have to talk about it. Yes, I'll be there. I am going to go to the Green Wardens, though, today and go try to hunt down some information.
Right. Well, best of luck with that. If you see Alexi before I do, send him my way. I do need to touch base with him about the ship.
So you and Alexi, huh?
Fighting the good fight.
He genuinely he just kind of cocks his head at you
Insight check.
and walks away.
Aw. No, we don't need a 15.
That was a little bit more than uncertainty.
No.
I knew it! She's fucking yelling at him as he walks away. I have to find Alexi now. Tell him the good news.
He probably just teleported the fuck away.
You'd probably catch up to him and Sassier like on their way out of the building, like talking to each other.
Alexi.
And you would hear Sassier be like, oh yes, Volus was very, very interested in our work. Yeah, he was one of the first things to share the shit theory with. You don't say. Lauren.
You, Gideon? I just got confirmation. Go for it, homie. Anyways, I'm gonna go talk to the Green Wardens. Bye.
He is dazed and confused as you walk away. Sassier just kind of chimes in behind him. He's like, ooh, get in there. Here's a tall drink of water. So, everyone's kind of splitting up. What is Noelle doing right now? She bailed first.
Noelle's thing isn't strictly... It's not super strict time-wise. I do think her disposition will kind of change with the gravity of the meeting, and she would go back to maybe the house. She would try to find a private space to maybe she'd just go to a room in the Presidium for a little bit.
Okay.
And she would write a letter. And when it was done, she was happy with it, probably after an hour or two. She would cast Sending to Sandy.
Okay. What's the message?
She'd say, hey, could we meet up for like an afternoon lunch, dinner, whatever? You pick the restaurant. Got some important stuff to talk about.
Sandy's reply would come back, a little coy, be like, "This ain't the meal you're trying to kill me, right? I'm kidding. Sandwich shop's real good. I mean, if you're not opposed." say 8 tonight.
Okay. Well, I will not respond, but I'm sure she'll be there.
All right.
But that is the thing that is on the docket for her right this second.
Okay. So, big play that afternoon. Write a letter. Contact Sandy. Anybody else got anything for the day?
I'm gonna pick this professor man's brain.
A Lorne.
Oh yes, Burberry, correct?
Yes, that is me. Yes, hi. I actually, and I don't expect us to play this through because honestly, Burberry is just interested in the history of it in general.
Sure. Honestly, I think he'd offer to walk you back to his office at Bellaguate and kind of show you what he's been working on.
Heck yeah.
Yeah. He has an extremely thorough map of Third Era ruin sites. There's like a big wall poster type thing, like tons and tons and tons of pins. Each of them has like a little thread out past the edge of the border of the poster, and you can see sketches and layouts and maps and all kinds of stuff kind of just tagged up on the wall there. Volumes of notes on these places that he's been accruing over the course of his life.
Would he mind if I take notes?
Please. I'm more than happy to share my work with the fellow scholar. I've been published in. He just starts listing off shit. My undergrad year was my first officially published. Can you believe that? I was a sophomore here, and they published me in a real journal.
I feel like Burberry actually gets genuinely excited about all of this, which probably makes the professor super happy because
he's got the same kind of infectious excitement. I think they probably just feed off of each other.
Yes.
It's just a big fucking nerd out for hours about this stuff.
But yeah, I think Burberry will take notes over the possible locations and the implications, or if he found it, or if the guy had any thoughts about what kind of if they were the type to trap their buildings.
And he's like, oh yes, absolutely. Many of their ruins are warded and mechanically trapped. We've certainly lost a fair few diggers to that sort of unfortunate mishap. It happens a lot in this line of work. But the things you find in there are just gobsmacking.
Tell me about it. Recently, I visited a temple that was the resting place of a ancient dragon king.
No, really? But yeah, he goes off. I think something would probably jump out to you over the course of this afternoon, Burberry. As you're having this conversation, I think you would probably actually recall, while you were in the tomb of the Dragon Prince, you had cast legend lore on the red star depicted in the murals. And you would remember towards the end of that vision, you watched as a structure, a massive, towering fortress was being built out at sea in the midst of this red light shining up out of the ocean.
Can I discuss this with this guy?
Yes, you can. He would be fascinated and deeply perplexed by this, because what you're describing is coming out of a ruin that predates the invader civilization that he studies by a good 10 to 15,000 years. And he's real thrown by that. Real thrown. And honestly, as you guys are discussing it, I think it kind of throws a lot of his theories that he had presented earlier that day into question. He starts kind of backpedaling. He's like, "Oh no! If this thing existed before, then there's no way that the invaders could have built it because they hadn't been on the plane. They wouldn't arrive for at least 15,000 years." It's a revelation to him, to say the least.
I'm glad to help, but I'm also sorry.
Yeah, so I mean, with that information, I think he definitely is going to probably sit and kind of puzzle out a timeline.
I mean, it is possible that they stole the temple that was already created.
What did you see? And he'd really kind of interrogate about this the tomb. He'd want to talk to the professor that you spoke with, that you adventured with there.
Actually, I have an idea. Lauren, do you think I could borrow you for a minute?
Lauren was headed towards the Green Wardens. So I'm sure
after you're done with your...
Yeah, after she's done with that, for sure.
I'm going to actually borrow Lauren to help me cast Dream on this guy so that I can give him an exact... I can show him it in the dream.
Okay.
In its entirety.
Sure, yeah. Alright.
Because I've gotten a really good look at my memories recently, so...
That's fair.
That's valid.
But yeah, I mean, he'll fucking talk your ear off about this shit all day.
Thank you, Lauren.
Yep. I think the other two big takeaways probably from this meeting, one, you would probably... Well, I guess that probably wouldn't come up. Never mind. Backpedaling.
I have no idea what you're talking about, so we're not going to worry about it.
And you won't for a while. That's fine.
Concerning.
A Lauren.
Hmm?
A Lauren. You're going to the Green Keep, you said.
Yes.
Okay. What's happening at the Green Keep? What are you doing?
Make sure bop up there.
Okay. There are the assembled junior wardens in the yard, still drilling, still practicing. Seeing you, there's the usual kind of fanfare and hubbub as they all kind of mob and try and get an update from you. What's going on? We heard that there was some kind of big meeting. Alexei came by earlier and said he was going to be talking with the Eastern Alliance to the other conservatives. What's going on? What happened?
I have broken that through.
You broke the yarn?
Yeah.
Oh.
I don't understand. Anyways. Sorry. I think she would go in, and I think telepathic is 60 feet out.
Mm-hmm.
So I think she would telepathically try to message, what's his nuts name? I never know. The higher uppy guy.
Steward?
Yep, no, the steward. Yeah, I think she would try to telepathically,
Aranir Elsar was his name.
Yeah, no wonder. I don't remember that. So she'll telepathic a message to him and be like, if I could meet with you when you have a chance, that would be wonderful.
How close do you have to be for telepathy?
60 feet.
I don't know if you're close enough to him, because out in the courtyard, it's a big courtyard, and then the building itself is it's a big building, right? Multiple wings.
She'll start walking around the building,
trying to
yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. She'll put a little effort in trying to get a hold of him.
I'll say, after a few minutes of this, eventually you will hear a reply that comes back, and you hear his voice that says, well, if you're free now, I'm actually taking lunch.
Am I allowed in the building, or will I get kapooted?
You can come up to my quarters without any issue.
Okay.
No one is going to confront you.
Just making sure.
So, you can head upstairs. Back to the very brightly lit high-windowed apartment that the steward keeps. And he would be seated at his little, cafe table by the window. Sandwich and a cup of coffee. And he would stand up and ask, have you eaten yet this morning? I hate to just sit and eat in front of you while you're a guest.
Oh, no, you're fine. Don't even worry about it.
Coffee, then. He'll just walk over to the counter and start pouring a cup, set it down across from him.
Okay.
Please. Sitting back down.
I was wondering if you have the report of my father's expedition available.
Kind of pauses mid-bite. Kind of chews thoughtfully for a moment there as he's taking that request in. And he says, well, there was never a direct report on the expedition's findings, as I'm sure you can imagine.
Yeah, that's okay. I just need to know what he was looking for specifically.
He seems to really be thinking hard right now. You kind of see him kind of like nodding after a moment or two. And he looks up to you and he says, this wouldn't have anything to do with the briefing today, did it?
No. Of course not.
Right. Honestly, there's not a lot of documentation regarding that expedition outside of the procurement orders and our project plan, and then the damage report after the facts. Volos was not terribly keen to put much on paper about that initial expedition. But he was clear with the rest of us what his concern was.
The ruins of the creature where they can summon it and open a portal, bring it back to life, and then wreak havoc upon the plane. Ooh.
Something to that effect, yes. There was some professor up at the university that he had spoken with, he said.
Oh,
And-
ooh, can I guess? And she'll say the name of the professor she just met.
Sassier.
Yeah, Sassier. Is it him?
The name rings a bell, yes. Volos had said that he was concerned that there may be some credibility to Sassier's theory and that he wanted to confirm whether or not that was the case. He had apparently detected some concerning signs in the region. Strange behavior in the local wildlife, changes in the geology, tremors. You see him kind of sit back in the chair.
Is something the matter?
Why do I feel like Aloran has just the teensiest bit of glee in all this?
It's because Chani's talking with the teensiest amount of
He kind of sets his sandwich there and he kind of looks back up at you, and he just kind of nods after a moment. I suppose you can imagine our collective horror the night of the Red Solstice when that light first appeared.
Because he was right?
He was onto something. Whatever he was concerned about. There was certainly a reason to be concerned. It's been a point of contention all year. For the past 2 months. The entire keep is very, very
Should I hold a little meeting and take half of them off your hands for you?
I expect they're probably going to follow you and the Alliance, regardless of anything we have to say at this point. We have tried to curtail it, but...
Tried? Just kidding. Like, I know you've been trying.
He mirrors the air quotes. We've tried. On paper. How bad does it look?
Not great. Not great. His fleet is moving to the ruins. We suspect that opens the portal. So, expected in a month or so. Next few weeks, it'll be reaching its head.
It's a lot faster than I remember hearing it going. Sounds desperate.
I think he knows that we're trying to stop him.
I'd be lying if I said I didn't have every faith that you were up to the task, but I'd also be lying if I said I wasn't a little scared at the same time.
If it makes you feel any better, we went into Burberry's mind and killed a god recently, so... Felt pretty good.
He's a little lost for words there. He kind of looks at you, just kind of head cocked with a little smile on his face, and says,
Killed one. What is one more?
Gods, if Olo could see you now.
I will do a very soft reminder to Aloran / Johnny that is the avatar of a god and not an actual god.
She does not give a fuck. She's like,
I figured that's what it is.
He's not making a distinction.
Nah, she's like, I was basically a god. Like, kind of a god. All's well.
I have no idea what he would make of you now. Honestly. You have come so far in such a short time, and I don't know that even he was up to the sorts of things you're doing now.
Well, I'm trying to do him proud.
I'm sure he'd be proud. I try to imagine the look on his face if he heard that.
Oh, I don't think it was technically a god. Well, it technically was a god, but not like the full form of a god. Yeah.
Well, now you're just being modest.
He did like go big boom bomb thing on us. So that was fun. So.
And yet you're sitting here before me, alive and well.
Tidal wave.
I think this is just the beginning for you, Aloran.
Really? I was thinking early retirement. Ah, just kidding.
I think you're going to give Inagar a run for their money.
Oh, I really hope to. Alexi and Noelle will do the speaking for me, though. So I'll probably start a fight. That probably wouldn't be great.
Well, I expect in due time they will bring one to us, but I hope I can do everything I can, at least, to stave that off for as long as possible.
Oh, we'll be up and running by then, I'm sure. Just... I've had my honeymoon. I'll be feeling great.
Honeymoon.
Oh, I'm getting married, by the way.
Congratulations.
Yes.
That's so good to hear.
We have 3 weeks to plan it. And do it. I'd like to get married before the end of days, just in case.
It's a short honeymoon.
Well, the honeymoon... We'll just do like a pre-honeymoon. Full honeymoon.
Preview honeymoon. This is our test honeymoon.
This is our test honeymoon.
I suppose it's a decent way to do it. You'll probably do a celebration after the fact anyways, so...
Oh yeah, we have many celebrations planned. Fun. You know how us Green Wardens like to celebrate.
Just the sigh.
You're just stabbing him in the like stomach again and again.
Shaking his head. Like,
Oh, come on. You were a young Green Warden once. I bet you loved that.
It was not like this when I was a junior.
Oh, I'm so sorry.
Things have changed a lot since those days.
I feel really bad for you. It's a blast. Kind of like the party school. You know?
A reputation I have been trying
Oh.
desperately to
Sorry.
rectify.
We do not party in that manner. We are sophisticated book nerds. We like to stab each other with pointy bits. She's chuckling.
So I hear.
Is there something on your mind? You keep sighing.
I feel bad about this whole situation. It is it's not good any way you slice it. And you've been dragged into the middle of it. And you never should have been. But you also seem to be one of the few people who are up to the task at this point, so I don't know. There's a part of me that's relieved, and a part of me that feels extremely guilty for that relief.
If there's one favor I could ask that would be incredibly helpful in the next few months, like few weeks. There's this giant storm they like to put around their fleet and the big ship. Seeing as the Green Wardens were all nature-y people, there's a way to dispel that without many uses of my ability to try. That would be amazing. This last time I used a lot to get that down. And I think I'm going to need those.
Storm.
Giant storm, like control weather, sort of. And that is just out of my reach. That is a level 8 spell, and I'm at
Just a
level
little out of your reach.
Just a little out of my reach.
Just a little bit. Yeah, I mean, he's genuinely just kind of like laughing to himself almost at that. he eventually says, there is one person who might be able to help with that. I will see what she can do. If she is not otherwise occupied.
Okay. That's probably like the biggest thing that biggest and only thing I will ask for some assistance with. Because I think it will be easier for the Eastern Alliance to sail and attack if there's not a churning water mess and craziness that they're controlling.
Oh. I have not spoken with our Grandmaster in some time, but I will reach out and I will see if she is able. I have no doubt she'd be willing.
Even just like a scroll or something, because I could probably do the rest.
You want a scroll to control the weather? Do you have a year?
Well, maybe she has one just laying around collecting dust. I don't know.
You know, that's a fair point. She could very well just have
A
one lying
Grandmaster?
around.
That sounds like someone that would have a random scroll laying about.
I will see if Gareth is available. I'll let you know.
Sounds good. Well, I feel like I have soured your lunch, so I...
No. I made this bed for myself. We made this bed. The
I
wardens
made this
did.
bed of salad.
The wardens made this bed for themselves. We will have to make peace with it. I genuinely hope that you and your friends are able to pull this off. The coast needs you to.
Yes, they do. All right. Well, I'll let you finish your sandwich. Thank you for chit-chatting. If you do happen upon those reports he made, I would love to see them.
I mean, you could request them down in the archives, but as I said, there's not much more to them other than supplies, requisitions, and assignments, and the damage report after the fact. It's
So not very helpful.
not terribly helpful for your purposes.
Okay.
As I said, he confided in the conservators much more than he wrote down.
Mm.
And seeing as you've already spoken with Professor Sassier, you are
Basically all informed up.
caught up. Yes,
Okay. Well, thank you for your time either way.
of course. Good luck.
Thank you.
As you leave, he will just kind of sit and stare very thoughtfully at his sandwich before he takes another bite when you close the door. All right.
Does she see the guy she hates walking around at all?
Cows?
Yeah.
Yeah, you probably see him at like the far end of a hallway as you're like heading back towards the lobby, and as soon as he sees you, he immediately just like pops open the nearest door and inside.
I feel like she'll just telepathically be like, yeah, you better run, bitch.
He's just like, excuse me.
I'm not the one running. A wonderful time in your little hidey hole. Bye.
He does not respond any more than that, but you definitely get that mental groan that comes through.
That's fine.
Okay. Anything else?
I do have one thing, but I don't want to like drag it out since it's like 10:30 and we're 30 minutes past.
Is it quick?
Maybe.
Yeah.
I feel like
quick. We can make it quick.
I feel like it could go longer. I think she'd go back down to the like down to like the Green Wardens that are like drilling
The juniors, yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
I feel like she would give them like a message of somewhere for them all to meet at like a different time. She just doesn't want to do it out in the open.
When and where?
That is a great question. I think I feel like she'd probably, I guess they technically could do their house, but I don't think she really wants to invite that many people over there.
That's fair.
Like
a bar.
I don't want to invite that many people to my house, not unless they're coming to my sleepover. Emphasis on the not sleep.
Okay, she will say outside of Freeport.
Okay.
And it'll be like in a little forested area.
Okay.
And she will give them the password, not gumbo, because I feel like they might have figured that out by now.
I don't know. It is a pretty complex password.
Shrimp. And everyone that is friendly will have to say them.
Okay.
Shrimp. Let's do it. We'll do it tomorrow evening.
Okay. Tomorrow evening. Password at a lot somewhere outside of town.
Yep.
Okay. Fair enough. You spread the word. You definitely have them on board. There's no resistance. These people are like, yeah, no, Lauren, keep us in the loop. Tell us when you're fighting Lost Sherlock. We want to know what happened at the briefing. You know, there's definitely a push for info. So, assume you're probably not just blurting all that out right now. So, for the meeting.
No, she is doing it to everyone recognized and everyone that everyone can like account for. Do not invite people.
Strangers. Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
Only invite the people. Yes.
Got it. Okay. Fair enough.
And don't worry, I think that if they are not a friend, they will not be allowed. So.
All right then. So, what else is happening today?
That's it.
Work on my projects.
Still working on the thing? Your secret thing?
I got a few things. Remember the auto
Okay.
mute?
Your not so secret thing.
that one ain't secret.
Sure. Okay. Yeah, that's fine. But you've got the timetables for all that, right?
I believe so, yes.
Okay. Anything else for the day then?
Just my thing.
All right. Well, 8 o'clock will roll around. Noelle, you will arrive at the sandwich shop and find a familiar red-haired, bearded dwarf seated at one of the back corner booths. Give a little wave.
Take a look around for any guards. I probably would have been looking on the way in too. Yeah, it's like any of the people that she usually has with her.
Give me a perception check.
You get a roll. 25.
It looks like she's actually alone this time. You don't see
Time
any
to
of the
strike.
usual,
No.
any of the usual mooks. Yeah.
Go sit down. Hey.
Good to see you. You looking well?
Thanks. I'd say the same to you, but I can't see who you are. So.
Well, as you know, we look as we wish, right? So, how is everything? Heard you were all back in town.
Yeah, everything's great.
Big shindig with the bigwigs today, eh?
Yeah. It's
She just keeps knocking your shit over, huh?
It's the bar cat or the sandwich shop cat.
Yeah. Just knocks your plate over after you pick up your sandwich.
All right.
Yes, he does that.
All I was gonna say was, yeah, things are getting serious now. That's all.
Yeah, it seems that way. East Alliance has been all a buzz lately. Yeah, there's a firebomb that went off. They still haven't caught the guy that did it. Back in the docks a couple of weeks ago. It's the only thing they haven't caught on yet. They've been nabbing these motherfuckers like left and right every time they pop up. That one's still got them kind of buzzing though. A little miffed.
Well, I hope they find them soon.
Yeah, real bugger that one. Killed like 5 people, I think. No. Keeps it.
I don't need to drag this out. Nell takes a note out of her bag. It's just a very hastily put together little envelope. She hands it to Sandy.
What's this?
That's for Martin.
Tucks it away very quickly.
In
Right.
case I die.
Pull it back out for a second. Does it say that?
It's probably not labeled.
So you want me to hold on to this, or should I give it to him and tell him? How do you want to handle that exactly?
If in a month and a half-ish, Ford comes back that the lost emeralds have been lost. Give that
Alrighty.
to him, please.
Right.
And
Anything I should be concerned about in there?
what would you be concerned about, Sandy?
I'm obliged to ask. It's just
It
one line
says,
of work.
Kill the messenger!
You would
Get
be
Sandy
surprised. That's happened to me twice. If I had a nickel for every time that's happened, I'd have 2 nickels.
It's not much, but
It's weird. I'm just asking, due diligence.
I honestly
You really
don't know
think
how
you're
to-
not coming back from this?
I don't know.
Mm.
I mean, we're talking about heading to the center of the world, deep underwater, and fighting some crazy cult.
Yeah, this is a fucking shit show. You guys should fucking bail. Hell with this. We can hop a ship. Head to Innerguard. Fucking. Whew, you'll be gone.
I feel compelled to see this through.
Yeah, fair enough.
But I also know that I'm not going to be able to tell Martin everything I would have liked to have told him. Hence the letter, in case.
Mm.
If I do come back, feel free to rip it up.
Fair enough. I can do that.
And I guess I also wanted to ask, given the accelerated timetable, kind of understand where things sit now, and we probably only have a few weeks. Is there any way in the next few weeks if I could just get like a couple hours with him on some afternoon?
Yeah. It's not a problem.
Would he be able to come out, see a show, take a walk through the park? You could send as many guys with me as you want. I'd like to have a good day with him.
Honestly, I don't think the Don's terribly concerned about Martin. He's been pretty ideal guest, you could say, and sounds like things are going pretty well as far as getting the arrangements out west set up. So, nah, I mean Martin's good. I think if
time off for good behavior.
I think if the Don thought he was a flight risk at this point, probably still have Goonies fucking follow me around, They're starting to relax. So,
Well,
we can make that
whatever.
happen.
Just let me know what day works for him.
I mean, he's not like he's got an office job. It's really contingent on your schedule.
Sometime this coming week, maybe the weekend.
Sure, yeah, I'll let him know. Be something nice, right?
Yeah. Okay, that's everything. I'll see you later, Sandy. I think Noelle just gets up without even having bitten into her food and just fucking...
Hey, don't eat the sandwich. It's good food.
I'm not hungry.
Sandy looks genuinely aghast. As does the proprietor of the shop as you leave. He's just like watching you walk away from your sandwich.
I didn't know people could do that.
Okay, so, Noelle, you take your leave.
That's it.
Head back to the house. Sure, yeah. Anything else today?
I'm gonna call my. Well, I'm gonna tell my parents the good news in the book.
Yeah.
I feel like you have an endpoint to today's session and you're freaking me out. Is anyone else picking up on that, or is it just...
I'm not gonna worry about it.
I'm suspicious.
Anyways.
Buck does like to do that to us during downtime.
I know, he's over here like, anything else for the day? Anything else
He
for
might
the
just
day?
be trying to move us along.
Well, he knows we're doing downtime, and he could end the session.
We're done for today, DM.
All right.
We go to sleep.
Except for Burberry's little dream
Burberry.
thing with Aloran, right?
Oh, yeah,
So-
they do that.
Yeah, so you share the vision and the dragon tomb with Professor Sassier. He's very excited. Very startled to see you in his dreams, but excited once you explain the situation and show him how it works.
I mean, I would have warned him ahead of time. Like,
Yeah. But I mean, he's still, he's an older man. He's like, what are you doing?
Took him to an IMAX movie. It's in 3D!
It's so loud! Yeah, you wrap up that project, head to bed, wake up the next morning.
Bastard. You're making me so
It's a cloudy day in Freeport today, but it is the day that Gideon and Alexei were planning to test the ship under the Presidium.
Oh, if that was, I forgot that was happening. So I say let's just have a Lawrence meeting with the younger wardens. Be like 3 days.
In 3 days. Okay.
Yeah.
That's fine.
Gives us time to prep. And talk.
So, what, or I guess who wanted to participate in that?
Me.
Alright.
Was
Alright.
present.
I think Noelle would have considered it, but probably is going to pass just because it doesn't seem like she needs to be there for it.
Okay.
In case anybody gets hurt.
Yeah.
Like crushed.
Please don't get crushed. We need you guys.
Well,
Yeah,
you guys.
Breathe in any environment. I don't know about water pressure, man. Please tell me magic water pressure, like it just magically ignores water pressure. Please? I don't want to be a smaller Burberry. I don't want to get the pens.
We shall see, won't we?
I'm just not being a smaller Burberry.
Papa.
Playing with it.
Well, the three of you would be able to make it over to the Presidium after breakfast. Probably walking with Alexei, honestly, since he's staying at the house.
Lauren would ask Alexei how things are going with Gideon.
Oh, good. I mean, but obviously, very good. The ship's almost ready to launch.
Oh, really good, you say? It's exciting. How long? Did you talk to him after yesterday? Or-
Pardon?
Oh. You're so...
What are you talking about?
Oh, Gideon has a little crush on you.
No.
Yes, Queen. Get him. Yes, he does. Totally.
Alexei's just like looking at you incredulously, like there is no way.
Oh.
You guys hit the Presidium. Gideon is waiting in the entry hall for everyone. And says, well, I hope you're all ready.
Lauren is just there to watch Gideon and Alexa interact.
Sure.
That's all she's gonna do is she's gonna suss out Gideon.
Okay.
So hard.
They are, as soon as they kind of get everybody moving downstairs and heading for the dry dock, like they are like heads together, like talking about final checks, what needs to be done, what's the plan for the second level valve bypass.
I feel like Lauren's like, oh, you're so cute.
But you guys get to the ship, and you would see, as you are let into the bridge area, there's that kind of heavy steel vaulted door that swings open to let you into the stairwell. They swing that closed, they seal it up, and they climb up into the bridge, which is this very large enclosed kind of thick glass kind of wrapping around the front of it. Steering wheel at the front with a high chair in front of it as well. And as they kind of go about the chamber, kind of flipping switches and toggling lights, eventually, as this vessel begins to kind of hum and glow, Gideon will turn to everyone and say, well, it looks as though all systems are reporting working order, so I suppose there's no putting it off.
I have a question.
Well, I suppose not.
Would it be impossible to change the mast into a tree so then I can just walk through the tree onto the ship?
Oh, there's no mast on this ship.
Oh, okay.
It's an open, flat deck.
When you're flying it, could I grow a big tree on it, and then that will solve our teleportation issues when you guys are...
Do you have a way to plant a tree on the deck of this ship?
Plant growth? Question mark, question mark?
I'm pretty sure plant growth requires some level of plants to be present. Channels vitality into plants within a specific area. Two possible uses. Either you cast it as an action, making all normal plants in a 100-foot radius become thick and overgrown, or if you cast it over 8 hours, you enrich the land for a year.
Oh.
Okay, so you need plants present to do that.
What if I do a big potted plant? Anyways, never mind. Just
we can discuss that. At the very least, I suspect I know the answer, but have any of you been off plane before?
No.
I
How do you count inside my head? Is that a different plane?
Well, I guess, does that count? Being inside someone else's
Oh,
head?
wait. Yes, we have been off plane. Kind of. We've been to the...
Oh, the Shadowfell.
Well, no, because it was technically on our...
Well, we got, teleported into, a mirror of our planet. That was Shadowfell.
Let me clarify. Have you ever been off of the face of Vergos?
Yeah.
Sent other people off plane. But
I was in Oberry's brain.
I think my brain's still on this plane.
I expect that's a no, then. That's how it sounds. Well, we are going to be making a jump up into orbit, and then we will be flying back down to the surface in order to test the submersion, since this is an enclosed dry dock. I suppose just make yourselves comfortable and hold on, because this is a bit of a rush.
I feel like Lauren's gonna nudge Alexi towards Gideon.
Watch Alexi.
He's gonna nudge Alexi and be like, "You can go make yourself comfy by Gideon."
He swats you away.
You're gonna get a message from Burberry that says, "Lauren, is there something going on? You're acting funny."
I'm pretty sure Gideon has a crush on Alexi, and I'm trying to get them two together. So
Oh, in that case, you're being way too heavy-handed. You gotta let these things develop.
Fine. I just wanted to be like best man. Okay, I got this together.
I mean this in the nicest way, Lauren, but I don't think Gideon will ever have you be a best man ever.
I'd be Alexi's best man.
Burberry does like that.
Oh, come on.
There's still the man part.
I mean, that didn't stop me from being. I want to be your man of honor.
Yeah, that's fair.
I can alter self now, so I could technically give myself and take it away.
Don't you mean at it?
That's your qualifying factor, yeah.
Yeah.
Fair
I can make one and take it away, so
Well,
do you want to see?
Not right now, no.
so while you two are discussing the finer points of alter self, Alexi's going to take a seat in the chair, take hold of the wheel. You're going to watch kind of arcane light kind of arc out of his hands and down around the circumference of the wheel, kind of joining various other circuits of light that are kind of like running across the floors and walls of this bridge. And you're going to watch as the massive stone chamber, to which, now that you're looking directly towards the prow of the ship, you realize that there is actually no door in this chamber. It is, for all intents and purposes, a giant tomb with no exit outside of the small tunnel you walked in here to board the ship. You will watch as this chamber begins to vibrate. You watch as the stone walls and ceiling around you begin to warp and twist, and then very suddenly contract, collapsing in on themselves. And within a second, the ship is surrounded by blackness. Pitch perfect darkness in every direction. As your eyes begin to kind of adjust to this sudden shift in space, you can see very faintly, here and there, small stars begin to kind of come into view. And before long, many, many stars are visible in every direction. And you feel the floor under your feet beginning to shift, kind of almost tilting forward. Although you never lose your balance, you remain standing, anchored on the spot where you had taken up your position. And you watch as the prow of the ship sort of swings in sort of a downward motion. And you watch as in front of you, this small, cloudy blue orb begins to rise in the darkness up ahead. And you will hear Alexi say, "Well, that's home."
That's cool.
I think I might hurl.
Actually, that's a great question. Oh, Lauren's hurling. She's like, that's cool. I'm gonna go exclusive stuff.
Alexi's immediately just like prestidigitation behind him. Just trying to clean up whatever it is.
Sorry. That was really cool, but oh my god.
We tried to warn you that it would be a lot.
Fuck through plants.
You can't hardly see anything from this distance.
I don't know.
Oh, don't worry. We will be back there very shortly. And with that, you will see the light under his hands on the wheel begin to grow. You feel a thrum in the ship and a lurch as it begins to move. And
Oh my god, slow down.
the marble begins to grow very, very quickly.
Oh, we're good. 16.
Before long, you are
She's not
rushing past clouds. You are watching as the darkness gives way to a hazy blue. And up ahead, you see through this faint ring of fire that is beginning to sort of undulate around the prow of the ship. Land. An ocean. And islands. And you recognize from very, very high overhead the same map of the Emerald Coast that you have been following for so very, very long at this point. And within about 10, 15 seconds, the fire gives way. You just see steam wafting past the windshield as the ship plummets downward. And very quickly,
Lauren's going to cast the breathe underwater thing.
water breathing.
Water breathing on everybody before we go.
Okay.
She's like, just in case.
Fair enough. But with that, I think that is where we will probably leave the session off.
Okay, so you did have a start.
That's all. That's all I wanted to do. They gotta test the ship, make sure it works. So yeah, we'll leave off there, and we will pick up at that spot next time.
Next year.
Oh shit, that's right. Fuck. It's gonna be like 2 weeks.
Yep.
Yeah, 7th will be the next game.
Yep.
Alrighty then, 20 days from now. Whew. What a wait.
Long.
Is everyone gonna drown or what? I don't know. Oh.
That would
Well,
be
you know
a dick
what?
move,
We might-
DM.
We might die, but I can guarantee you none of us will drown.
Yes.
That's fair.
If we die, it will not be that way.
That's fair.
Lauren just made sure that we will die a more painful method than that. You're welcome, everybody on the ship.
Fair enough.
Thank you, I appreciate it. Hopefully the cloak of the manta ray lets you deal with water pressure. Because honestly, that is a weird concern for me.
I think Cloak of the Manta Ray gives you like 40 feet swim speed and you can breathe
60.
underwater. Oh, 60 feet.
60 feet of swimming speed and underwater breathing.
Yeah, I am doubly okay. I definitely won't drown. Crash, maybe, but I won't drown.
I will say this much. Lauren is going to procure one of those for Adler.
A cloak of the manta ray.
Oh, did you want to borrow mine?
Well, I think just general probably be helpful to him. To be
Sure.
able to breathe and keep up with her swimming. Actually swim faster than she can.
That would be useful.
Well, do we have an MVP vote for this session? Anybody?
No.
I will vote for Lauren. I feel like she did accomplish the most here.
All right, that's 1 and 1.
I'm fine with Lauren.
2 and 1. Do we have a third?
I said down for that sickness.
Oh, all right. A Lauren,
Oh,
take an
Lauren.
inspiration.
Whoa.